I'm really sorry for the noise. If you're hearing this. Yeah. Hello, Veil. Automatic, stupid RNG, SB, your fourth. Sounds like ASMR. I think I do want to do an ASMR. I think maybe this year a New Year's resolution is that I do an ASMR video. I think that my idea for an ASMR video would be it would be an ASMR video to try and calm down Alex before a tournament game. So like Alex would listen to the concept would be Alex needs to listen to this before they start a game. I do think it would be a good idea. And then next year, maybe Paper X hires me as a content creator and it becomes a series. Can't you just buy him a blindfold? Yeah, I mean, that's what I used to do. I just used to not watch the games when I was coaching online. When I was assistant coach, I would when I was assistant coach, I would do all the work before the game needed. And then I would just I would clean the house or I'd go for dinner and I'd set a timer for when I thought the game would finish and then look at the result and then immediately watch it back. Yeah. I think when we qualified... When we got to the finals at EMEA in 2024, yeah, I was at dinner. Hey, Keki. How's it coming along? Betting college savings on the winning Pacific. I hope you don't have many college savings. It's still going to be difficult. Second favorite Fnatic hater. Second favorite Fnatic hater. Yeah, I mean, I said it before. My love language is hate. That's a pretty good line. What's the line I said on Twitter? It's pretty good. I don't know. It sounded borderline. It sounded almost like S+ tier gaslighting. Honestly, can't remember what it was. If you win as a coach, you get gun buddies too. As a head coach, yes. Assistant coach depends. Usually, assistant coaches do. SOK never got one though for some reason. ASMR for ranked games to calm people down. That's good too. That's good too. I don't think I think I would need help writing a script though. A little bit of help because I think I'd miss some. There's a lot of easy bangers with the format, you know. Like I need to remember all the tropes, like the ranked tropes of like insta-lock jet, insta-lock, baiting. Maybe I just use my own experience. Like my biggest one is when they drone. They don't follow your drone in the new entry. When your smokes player smokes too early. When they don't have voice chat on. E couple. There's enough material here. There's some like niche things though about like I don't know your tracker rating and Hoojin and all those people. I don't know. Hey Kim. It would almost be like that guy who makes YouTube, the Irish guy who makes those YouTube videos. Have you seen them where he like? Let me try and find it. He does like almost like videos like. I just saw the thumbnail on YouTube. Yeah, it's this guy.
Performative males.
Meditations for the Anxious Mind. He does like these videos where he's just like on the
Performative
street
male.
and like whatever he's talking about, he just talks about it, and then he has someone stand next to him the entire time who might represent the thing he's talking about, and they don't talk.
Narrow patchouli phase.
He just films them the
Digestive.
entire time.
For these pseudo-sensitive male leads, love bombing is domestic terrorism, and these war criminals just figured out what the word gaslighting means. A military tactic they specialized in.
Yeah, pretty good videos. Let's see what other ones we got. The skin fade. Oh, this was 3 years ago, but the skin fade and North Face jacket combo.
Skin fade and the North Face jacket due to an embodiment of.
I like the fact that like these people are just absolutely fine with being ripped into as well. It's a big tick in my head. It's very British. I feel I say British and it might not be, but you know what I mean. It comes from that tradition. Do you have issues of our daters? The fuck is our daters? Oh, e-daters. I've never seen them in my game. I don't know. It's just something funny to talk about. Okay, right. So it is Project Blender, this game we're watching. So it might not be 100% what teams are playing, but if you look at the actual VLR of like both teams and you look at like the maps, it looks like they're mostly playing the stuff. Like, well, actually, they did change massively here and here. So maybe for KC there's some shenanigans going on. It's hard to say. Very interesting that they went from like, let's see, because this is actually confusing for KC, hard to read into. Jata, you got any opinions here? They just try. I think they're just trying stuff. I think KC a week and a half between the games. I think that'd be on double drone. Okay. It looks like Teo +1. They're very much experimenting with Teo. And to be honest with you, I think that's kind of cool. I think that's kind of cool. A Teo, I don't love. I think this should be KO probably, and not Sky. But I like the idea they're going for. Like a 0 Senti Waylay supported dive. And then playing Viper Astra. I mean, they're gonna play double orb some places, it looks like, which I don't like. Like the fact that they're using Astra as a sentinel and don't just use the other smokes player as a sentinel is kind of annoying, but you know. I do quite like the like I like that there's gonna be a team playing something unique. I don't know what VF. I don't like VFL. What's my take on KO? But I mean, I don't like KO that much, but like I think that I can see why team like KO bind. It can be frustrating to play against. It can do the dueling on defense, and the knives can be pretty good. But yeah. But it's KO still. I don't know. I'm still a bit of a KO here. Anyway, so I do like that there's an identity coming through on KC of maybe playing some Waylay Tail. And then they're one of those teams like Na'Vi historically that are using Astra as a sentinel. I don't like that. I don't like using Astra as a sentinel. I don't think that I think on like maps like Bind, it makes sense to go Sentinelist, but on some of the other maps I would just prefer them play a sentinel, even if that's like a non-traditional sentinel. The only thing I could say though that like a positive though is that like Sagetsu was frying on smokes last year, so the fact that he gets to play it is kind of cool. But yeah, let's just watch and see. This might be a little bit trolly from KC's side, so I think we focus on Vitality a little bit more. I think this is going to be more. I'm more convinced that this might be an approach they're looking at, albeit that Dirk has seemed a bit unhappy with Waylay in a tweet recently, I think. So let's just see what happens and what analyze we go, rather than me try and guess. Also, who saw Goodman? Doz9? That guy? I like this guy already. Fantastic TV show. Look at these fucking... Anytime something like this would happen, Boaster would say it's Christopher Nolan. He's the only filmmaker that he knows is like this Christopher Nolan.
KC don't actually have a sentinel. You're running the double controller, running the clove and the brimstone, so that also limits your
I think in terms of analysis here, like I hate to be this guy. I think the in terms of analysis, I don't think focusing on Sentinel here is the thing. Like Colorcaster talking about the Sentinel and not having a Sentinel, like no Sentinel split is absolutely common. I think the bigger interesting thing here is no fade. No fade or sky. There's no drone. They're playing double dive all in. Although, why are they playing double orb smoke on split? That's really weird. They love this double orb smoke shit. Anger's got some weird shit with double orb smokes. You assume it's supposed to be Astra Omen in not Blender. Hey Tribon. Yeah. Yeah, but still, like, why Astra? I still don't. What? Oh, the question for me is, because I obviously am an Astra Viper fan here, but would I prefer Astra Omen or Omen Viper? I think this is number one, and then a massive tier gap, and I think this is number two, and then this is number three. Like I'd rather commit the sin of playing Omen than commit the sin of playing double orb smokes. Yeah, Angus always been a fan of Astro Omen. Yeah, Bosa got into a little bit of trouble because he was saying he didn't like their comp, and like when they beat us, saying it was like a gimmick comp, and he didn't. I think because Bosa could sometimes say things without thinking, like we obviously then were using a comp very similar, but we weren't using the double orb portion of it. I think the double orb portion of it is what I think he thought was the gimmick, if that makes sense. But let's remain open-minded and see what is going on. The camera in vents for Waylay to stun and maybe a paranoia. I feel like paranoia traps like this don't work, but the Waylay stun slow is interesting. And then we have breach B, fade A. Okay. Is this the London Tory? No. Prophet has ghost and blind, which is fun. You mean like he's not got a second smoke?
So that's going to be something to pay attention to.
Yeah, so the question here is, how are KC going to scale places like middle without drone? So in Fnatic, we did play at one point, we played Yoru, Raze, Breach, Cypher, and Omen, I think. And honestly, scaling middle was like, basically it just involved stunning a lot and just diving into middle. And then when we played anti-ecos, we basically designed it with the Cypher. We would, like, I designed one where, like, we trip on B, and then we'd camera middle, and then we'd camera into vents. But they don't have that luxury. So, like, honestly, like, a weird thing to me is going to be how are they going to play anti-ecos? I guess they should probably just go up the ramp and take long range duels. And generally, how are they going to approach a comp with no Prowlers? Is my question for KC. The other thing is like Levin doesn't really play Yoru much. It feels like he's more comfortable not playing Yoru. So I'll be interested to see. Yeah, I like that KC are working with that like discomfort in a way. Durka here. I'm gonna be keeping my eye on Durka as well, especially this year in terms of like he is relentlessly aggressive. But here he needs to chill. Like he's being a bit like this is like watching me play Chamber in that rank game the other day. Like his teammates aren't ready to help him. Like the only reason that he should be doing this is if Yampi's ready to Prowler and they're ready to just burst, but they're not. So I'm a bit confused by Durka's aggression here. Like I like the aggression into deep, but then afterwards he needs to get out because they're just gonna fuck him up. And then because Breach is B, he needs to play offsite. And they're kind of fucked right now. B retake is gonna be a little bit difficult, but pistol. Oh, Sayo. So I didn't look uncomfortable there. Sayo is also someone I need to keep my eye on. He's not going to be there at kickoff, but Vitality have, you know, Vitality have put a lot of like, I don't know how to spell it. They have like obviously predicted that he's going to be very good if they put so much effort in trying to keep him for like almost a year now already before he could even play.
Oh, it's such a cheeky little post plant as well coming in from them. Obviously with that smoke in the open.
Hello, Big Mini. Hello.
Ready to play off the back of
Can you get away with running a Brim if you're running an Astra Omen to pair with it? No. Why? Is basically my approach. Brim is a fast, aggressive smoke agent. So like with Brim, it's like you want to play like Teo type champs that are getting in and then just fucking burst in. Like you just want to be bursting like why would you want to play more smokes? Brim plus Viper works on maps where... Is that a good explanation? Because then you could be like, well, Viper's more smokes. I can't be bothered to try and think through my shallow analysis.
From Vitality, bro. It's in towards the post plant. And they really stand strong. It's in that replay there. You can see how lovely the peeks off each other were. Everything
hey, how's it? How you doing, bro?
No way back in.
Yeah, so anti-eco, like I said, probably gonna just use the ramp.
This one, you're looking towards Vitality, sure you have a...
Nice from Durka though. This is the problem with their anti-eco, their comp right now, is the anti-eco is kind of hard.
But they at least have all the numbers in the right place. So, and especially with Durka's out because there's nothing in mid either.
Yeah, exactly.
They probably, I think it'd be worth them doing like a 1-4, a 4-1 still. I know it's a bit hindsighting, but
they've got a plan A and a plan B set here, Carmine Corp. The question is, will they walk into the
actually no, I don't think so. I gone back. I think they're doing fine.
First frag comes in, Yampi and Chronicle both with kill.
Oh, I feel really smart sometimes, you know? I do feel really smart. Like the fact that like I think it's a bit of a weird thing to talk about, like an anti-eco. And I've highlighted that as like one of the main things that's a problem with the comp, and it's such a weird problem. Like usually you wouldn't think about that as a comp problem. Are you remote with Zeta? I am fully remote. I can explain more to you in person. My time commitment with it is very little. It's not like it's very little.
I'm sure he's going to be able to guarantee it now, but Durka's gone for a little bit of a wander up towards heaven. But the and I don't know. He was going to a little bit of a
I wonder what the best support agent for Waylay.
came out from elbow.
I think that like
replay here. You can only
It seems like KO is the most preferable right now with NRG running the KO Waylay.
Oh, this is a very tough KC.
Yeah. Sure, you lose.
I think that Teo was working quite well too. Teo. KO Teo. Teo KO. Teo was working quite well too. But KO can do like, you know, you pop flash and then push, you know, that kind of shit. Fade? I mean, it doesn't really matter which recon you're talking about. Why did two people say fade? Who's been saying about fade Waylay? Because usually when people have like a take where I'm like, what, fade Waylay? Like what? Like that's just, to me that's just like, well, yeah, sure, whatever. But that seems
If you have the money to reinvest.
seems like someone's take your.
Plenty of opportunity. For Carmine Corp, of course, spawning.
What are your expectations for Zeta this year? Expectations. I think it's difficult to know because I don't know how how yeah. How do I answer that? I don't know how much. It'll be interesting to see how much I can have impact or not, if that makes sense. So that'll be interesting. And then like there are some signs where I'm like, ooh, that looks kind of nice. And I'm just gonna I want to see how it translates to officials, some of it, you know. Like there are some players who are playing really well, and I'm like, well, I hope that continues even when there's pressure, you know. The other thing is that I'm a really pessimistic person, and obviously, like, you know, when I was coaching Fnatic and we were really good, I would still think we're going to lose every game. Going into Toronto, I didn't think PaperX. I thought that, in a weird way, I thought it was going to be better for PaperX if they lost early to focus on champs, and then they ended up winning, and I was like, oh shit. And obviously, Zeta's expectations are not the same as Fnatic and PaperX's, and my expectations for PaperX and Fnatic were quite low sometimes. So, you know,
Hold on to this early lead.
I know how much involvement I have, but I don't know how much impact it will have yet, if that makes sense. Like today, I had a nice message from the assistant coach saying that like there was 2 specific instances of advice that I'd given that are already having like tangible effects, which seems quite nice. But then there's other things where like I'm helping them with a certain map right now, and I don't know if I don't know how helpful it is, you know.
Established.
I held you accountable for PaperX losing champs. Thank you for that. Yeah, thank you. Long time Zeta fan of the Japanese team. Thank you, Kogiku, Kogiki Tokunaga. Thank you.
Vitality themselves. As you say, looking to score in this map, and the buy good enough to do.
What are they even conditioning with the
I mean, loads of
smokes
weapons
on
in the
attack?
previous, but if you have the money to reinvest.
So they are doing a weird. They're doing a weird A smoke so that they can't just play like on split. Traditionally, you would play a Cypher or Viper to like cut vision here, so that you can't just the defense can't just leave one person spot in and feel comfortable that they know that that there's nobody here. So they always have to be a bit careful, and so KC realized that if they don't block vision here, they could very comfortably just have some person watching here and then have 4 people between these 2 points. And so they've decided to do like a weird smoke, which is fine. It just depends how much teams will actually end up respecting that if it becomes a default idea for them. And how do they use this awkward smoke when they actually do want to go A?
Plenty of opportunity for Carmine. Corp, of course, wanting to hold on to this early lead that they've established. Vitality themselves.
Okay, you hold me account. Okay. I do want to glaze myself a little bit. Like I don't think I was the reason for this, but it is a funny picture. It is a funny picture. I came in and they were losing to Boom Esports. I remember I said something one day where I was like, I was talking to them about like Pearl, because they lost Pearl to Boom Esports. And then I told them in a scrim, I was like, if you do this, you'll never lose to Boom Esports again. Yeah, I felt a bit bad about that, but yeah. They lost to they beat Zeta. Their only win was to Zeta. Fuck. 1, 2, 3, 4. They're 1 and 5 with their win being to Zeta.
Say looking to score in this map, and the buy good enough to do so.
Oh, I didn't become head coach of a team because it's too much work.
In this
Okay, let me focus up.
Vitality themselves. Say looking to score in this map, and the buy good enough.
So the only thing they really got is they're even like needing to use the boombot B main. Like with Astra, this composition becomes easier. A lot, well, it becomes easier. Like stuff like this, they wouldn't need to necessarily do the boombot here because they could have a star here and just dissipate and then walk in behind it. And then that works because the defense then has to be worried about a person anywhere in this vicinity. Like they could be anywhere between these angles. So you can't just have your crosshair here. You then got to be worried there's someone here. So like by dissipating, you'd create like a easier threat, right? And then you and Sneaky Silent talking about being head coach makes it sound like hell. I think even coaches that don't put in as much work as me and Slicky would find it hell. I do think that Slicky probably even might have worked more than I did. Yeah, maybe, but I think yeah. I don't know. My life was a mess. You just don't have a life at all. Yeah. So the Astro in this composition, it would mean that they could probably star here, you could put stars like all in these positions, and then use them to dissipate or fight. You know, like if there was pressure from the Waylay coming out here, you could just immediately just stun. If you wanted to cross the vents, you could just dissipate yourself across. If you need to go up this way, you just then smoke here, right? Like, the Astra makes the lack of initiation with this comp a little bit better. Which is what they probably will play. It's just this is a weird tournament structure.
Plenty of bodies to try and choose.
A very straight execs right now. Which makes sense. The other thing for KC we need to think about is... I might start writing some of this down, actually, because I need to prepare for broadcast a little bit. So let me just write some notes. So, KC... no senti approach. 11 comfort. E.g. Waylay. Not Euro comfortable. Teo. 2 initiator. Tease. Like, I call them like all-in attack comps. Like the way that Eng likes to run comps in the past few years has been very much attack side focus, which makes the defense very chaotic in a fairly fun way. They have to they try and problems the comps mean they have to problem solve defenses quite a lot in very interesting ways. Like on Lotus, they played a very wonky comp that meant that they couldn't take control of certain parts of the map without like lots and lots of thought. Like they have massive info gaps they don't have really like that many good anchor agents. They often don't play anchor agents, and they don't play sentinels, and so your defense becomes a lot of gambling. But that ties into the idea that they don't have an experienced IGL. So by playing this kind of style of philosophy, I do think that it means that it makes attack sides easy to call, because they're just doing a B split strat. Like already they've done a B split strat twice, I think. And then on defense, the messiness means that like the IGL isn't too responsible and for it, if that makes sense. Like I don't explain it, but it's like if you're accepting that it's going to be a bit messy anyway, there's not really that much pressure on the IGL. You say that, but Aang run Deadlock and Vice on Bayern last year. I think with Sadhak, that was with Sadhak though. I think when he was coaching Magnum's team, when I was doing anti-strats against them, the defenses were chaotic and the attack sides were structured. The Vice Deadlock was, if you looked at the compositions last year though, I think they did mostly still play a style similar to that, and the double senti stuff was rare. Like they didn't really play much of that where like they had a very structured defense. Bind they did have more of a structured defense for sure, and they did very well with it. Let me Who is the IGL? Is it Avaz? This Avaz is crazy, but interesting. Shados, okay, that makes more sense. When I was doing interviews for 2023 for the Fnatic for 2023 team, Shados was on the list, and the reference from Eng was very good in terms of like my interpretation of Gambit as a team and the players' strengths and weaknesses were very different to what he was saying, and the way he was talking about Shados was that he was like the smartest player on the team, which makes it very interesting to me. Yeah, okay. I mean, I'm learning.
Anything else to do with the fight towards heaven? It's B main that allows Yampy to activate Levin with a quick trade. 4 on 4 now as to act Cage. Does so to hold on to this.
Why are they so confident that to play 3A with this little defensive? Like, I think to play like this, you need Astra so that you can fully block off B if they run into trouble here.
For Carmine Corp, of course, wanting to hold on to this early lead that they've established.
Like, traditionally, you'd go into more like a 2-2-1 or like something a bit more like 2-1-2 kind of vibe, I guess. Like, depending on where you're.
Themselves, as you say, looking to score in this map, and the buy good enough to do so.
I think weak side B this early against a double dive comp. Kind of
Space.
not good. Stun being ready for vents and for mail.
Up in towards mid.
But yeah, that angle is not great.
Bodies to try and shoot at, finds one and has to
And they're so out of position. like a fade anchor right now with a 20 HP Cypher.
The cage doesn't want anything
A bit
else to do
confused
with
by
the fight
Vitality's
towards heaven.
approach here.
B-main that allows Yampy to activate Levin with a quick trade. 4 on 4
I like
now,
this from
Yampy towards
Dirk,
the cage.
using the refract as a rotational tool to clear center map is kind of cool. I've not really seen Waylay used like that. Usually you see the Waylay being used more like you'd refract here and go in, and then refract out once you're in trouble.
To activate Levin with a quick trade. 4 on 4 now as Durka to tip the scales back in favor.
Let's see if they got like a good retake or something. How have they got advantage here?
Cage doesn't want anything else to do with the fights towards heaven.
Oh, Yampy did get one. They haven't. Are you fucking with me? They're playing Jet, Brimstone, Clove, and they don't have a smoke for CT spawn. What's going on?
Anything else to do with the fights towards heaven? It's B main.
Where are their smokes?
To activate Levin with a quick wanting to hold on.
Saul Goodman still has
Vitality themselves. As you say, looking to score in this map, and the buy good enough to do so.
better call Saul right now.
Space up in towards mid.
Plenty of bodies.
Why is Saul Goodman not smoking CT spawn? He's lost on the round. Yeah, Saul Goodman lost on the round. I don't know why he's not smoked CT. If he smokes CT, they're fine. Also, this was banned. In Fnatic, I banned this. On a B split, any motherfucker that stayed here was given shit. It's so bad. Being stuck here on a B split, I'd encourage a re-wrap here, or this player is like just down here lurking. I don't want someone stuck between two fucking angles in which they're gonna hard clear you. It's like staying in garage on Haven on a C split. Like you'll fucking do my head in.
And you're right. There is no safe crossing. Levin has to make room, and he'll do so. Removing
He did the A smoke. He has 3 smokes. The Clove smoked A.
To stick the spike down. 3v3. Vitality still with a chance here in the post plant.
I mean, post plant, it's very just cycle them so they're able to get the spike.
Let's see the retake. I want to see. Oh, Dirk has already used Saturate.
Very much focus on towards site. They have to fight forward. Sure, Dust9 is going to be in charge of Heaven, but it's Spawn that they want to come out. All 3 players of Vitality together.
Durka dashing in and out, just trying to get
He tried.
But Levin drops another. Prophet gets
God, Saul Goodman.
2-on-2. Sayonara still spamming out, expecting the peek from the right-hand side. An elevated angle. Our both players score.
Saul Goodman recovers.
Yampy was stuck on an island, had to fight forward. Short takes one towards the site, not really able to keep an anchor in place. And KC again towards another post plant, and yet another round on the board. A 3-0 start for KC, and now putting Vitality on towards the back foot, on towards Sheriff.
The same. It's just the same almost every round. The only difference here is now they're leaving someone here just to contain, and to give them maybe a lurk option. Because, you know, Vitality are low money, so they don't want someone just pushing it. It's interesting that he chooses not to shoot the. I know it's like it's not really that important, but like he doesn't shoot the reveal because then someone's likely to push behind and he's likely to kill him because of the gun advantage. The only issue with not shooting this reveal is now they're likely they're either gonna push or they're gonna hard rotate. So be interested to see if they do anything with that information. You know, if this was a Cypher, if he left that reveal, he'd start scaling up and using his like utility to scale into ramp right now. But probably not an anti-eco, but on like a gun roam maybe. Hey, Bicycle. Hydrate? I mean, I got Pepsi Max, so it's not really hydrating, but...
Prowler does at least spot someone out mid, so it's at least a little bit of information to work with, but right now, KC...
Project Blender, it was like weird agent stuff, but I think I'm... So, Project Blender is like weird agent pick stuff, but honestly, a lot of the picks are real. At least the fundamental concepts of a lot of the comps are the kind of what teams look like they're playing. So, like, I'm using this as, like, preparation for broadcast, essentially.
possibility of any positional awareness.
Because none of these motherfuckers
Mid
play real
going
tournaments in the off
advancing
season.
towards B main either.
So I have to watch
Yampy trying
meme
to
format tournaments to try and decode like the fucking Da Vinci Code, what these teams actually are gonna try and do,
the angle.
so I can look
It's just
smart on
about now,
broadcast.
towards B. There are still 4 players stacked in and about this site. Yampy has to move away. Levin finds another 2, dashing into the head of this site. Yampy has to move away. Levin finds another
When Levin's
2,
confident, he does
dashing
look
in and
good.
about
Even
this
I know
site.
it's like silly, but even just like the fact that he's like made that jump is kind of nice, you know.
Shados collects the last with the outlaw, kills for everyone.
I think I'm higher on Levin than I was last year. I think Levin was like, I think some people overrated him like last year, because like he was very hit and miss. Like he was the player that would either win you or lose the game, and sometimes, like especially in those big moments, was like struggling. But for some reason, I have this weird feeling that like in this team, he's gonna be good. I think he's gonna be better than. I think he's gonna be pretty decent. But it's like a hard one for broadcast because it's like. I think the level he's at is probably what most people think he's at, if that makes sense. But like, I think he's gonna improve to that level and not already was that level, if that makes sense.
Obviously, against the full pistols, but now is the real test. Going in towards this one, you can already see that there's an operator being brought up, so weaponizing Durka with that might be the thing that Vitality need, the recipe to success, because currently, the only people
I hope Vitality don't play this comp,
with success so far are KC, and
because it is dog shit.
Fantastic performance from him so far. 7-1 inside the first 4. Looking to hold that momentum. This man here with this particular gun was a menace in the round of 16. Durka on the op. Prolific.
Cypher split in 2026.
Let's see if Carmine Corp can get the same treatment. Durka waiting. That was his chance to shoot down the VIP instead for Carmine.
Very good except the last 2 games, but his like, I don't agree, and I think the stats would back me up on that a little bit. Like, he was middle of the pack.
Vitality down to 3 as well. Shoot down the VIP instead for Carmine Corp. Wait at once. Let's see if Carmine Corp can get the same treatment. Durka waiting. That was his chance to shoot down the VIP instead.
Very, like, not even kill, like, very info-heavy trips.
For Carmine Corp, they are still with 5 alive. Levin into the heavens. Yampy gets the.
How do some new duelists that should show something amazing struggle so much? But in my opinion, is character was pop. I think 2025 was a disappointing year for duelists in EMEA. I think that beyond Durka and Kayak, nobody else was super impressive, and I think there was a tier gap between those players.
But it's not without 2 from the Carmine Corp side. Vitality down to 3.
Miniboo was very good in places. Kiko was good on duelist, but I'm talking about primary duelist, like primary duelist, not the secondary duelist. I think Aura was, you know, good, but I'd say he was like, he was up and down too. He was like top and bottom of scoreboard a lot, you know. He was definitely very impactful though, in terms of like, he probably gets that 3rd slot, but I think there was a tier gap between. There was Kayak, Durka, and then it probably went to someone like Ara afterwards. I thought Camo was average. I thought that I thought Camo was. I think Camo was in that list of players that was just in the middle of the pack. I think Comeback disappointed me. Zeus disappointed me a little bit. Both of them are way more competent than what they showed, and I hope to see more from both this year, especially Comeback on Heretics. I'm excited for that. I think Martin will also had a bit of like a middling year, but was better than what people seem to think he was, if that makes sense.
as well. So shared numbers in round 5. Profek fighting from
I think this is a big year for duelists in EMEA. Like, do we have any other world-class duelists apart from,
very nearly finding the frag.
But the thing is, it is
you
a
know,
3v3 situation. But
Kayak
three
Durka?
players of KC are separated. The spike is starting to shift over towards B, and it's now with the kill that Yampi was able to get onto to get
Sop is, yeah, I think honestly, I'm gonna do a tier list soon. Deluxe helped me with some graphics yesterday, so appreciate that. I'm gonna do like one of the next streams I'll do will be a tier list of every role, and I'm gonna rank like the duelist role from 1 to 12, for instance. And I think Sop is fucking high on the list. Like, he's gonna be in the top 5 for sure, maybe higher.
the only option
Like,
left. Sure.
even like. The problem with someone like Sop, though, is he's on a team that, reasonably speaking, is not as good as other teams. But I think that, like, I like how the discourse in CS right now is about, like, you know, they're arguing between Zywoo and Donk. And Zywoo won everything this year and had just lower than Donk stats. But Donk was the better player. And so there's this huge argument about whether Donk or Zywoo should be the #1 player of the year. I think in Valorant, most people would say that Zywoo was just de facto the best player. But in Counter-Strike, it's becoming more nuanced, where it's like, yeah, but Donk was just... You'd rather have Donk on your team. So, like, to me, Sop is going to be like that, where it's like, I'm going to put Sop really high in my ranking, probably. Even though he's likely to fall shorter because of his team. Donk wins because of better name. Donk also won trophies. Yeah, Donk won trophies, but he didn't win the same level. It's also like, I don't know, it's
40 seconds to work with. Be looking towards what utility does Vitality have in towards this defense to hold the site itself. Don't have that paranoia, sure. Maybe some of the smokes are coming back online, but you can see with where Durka's playing that they have no information. They're wanting to play for that retake.
Sorry, let's see what happened this round. I didn't really see.
Was a men first fought.
Brimstone Lurker, so this would probably be the Astra in their actual gameplay. And then note how, so this is where like anti-strats become important during the season, right? So like this is a good example right here. So we saw KC use the smoke here every round. And now for some reason, they've now done this smoke. That this is the kind of shit where, like, when you're building a playbook, you try to avoid these situations as much as possible, where there's an inconsistency. Because this inconsistency gives a tell. To me, and to very smart players on a team, like someone like Leo or Boaster, and maybe, probably most players, to be honest with you, but I think Leo and Boaster are the kind of players who look at this smoke and be like, yeah, they're going ramp right now. These little inconsistencies give off reads, right? Especially when you anti-strat. Because now I watch this VOD, I'm like, okay, anytime they smoke here, guys, they're probably going up the ramp. And then KC are smart enough to think about that too, maybe, and like maybe they'll add elements where like they do this smoke sometimes as a fake. But then I know also it's either a fake or it's a full A ramp, you know? Like, I'm not like criticizing here, I'm trying to give like you know, I'm trying to give you examples of like where anti-strats come into things and how teams give off reads, you know? Like famously, I think I've never really gone into this too much, but I think that the old DRX team, like 2022 era, was extremely susceptible to this kind of stuff because they would have very obvious tells like this. Very consistently. And why they probably struggle to get further than top 6 at a tournament was because of how many tells that they would give away.
It felt like he was everywhere at once. Let's see if Carmine Corp can get the same treatment. Durka waiting.
It's frustrating because like when you're a team that wants to win, like you could get away with not giving tells away. You could be a team who how do I explain this? The strats are better. Like, this smoke is fundamentally better for doing what they want to do, but it's worse because, obviously, a team could look at it and be like, well, we know what you're doing. But in the short term, this kind of thing would be better. So, for some teams who are not looking to the long term of their season, could get away with some of these gimmicky things where, like, oh, I'm just going to do the best version of it, like it doesn't really matter about the reads. We'll think about the reads later, you know what I mean? And so like that was always like a battle, and Fnatic is like thinking about that, and like I think generally we'd opt towards trying to have the longer term version of the playbook, if that makes sense, rather than the shorter term. Obviously it was really fun, those moments in which we had some leeway to just be like, okay, this is a fucking one and done comp that we're just gonna use or whatever. We could do some strats where like we don't really need to think about the conditioning or the long term, the longevity of like the utility and stuff. And I think for the teams that are the ones who are like coming up and like trying to be underdogs, it's way better to think in terms of that. Like, be the team that just like, who cares about fucking conditioning as much? Like, let's just fucking make good strats, and then like we'll think about how it fucks us over later. Like, you know. I think Paper Rex also do struggle with that a little bit, but because they're so chaotic, sometimes, and there's an element of randomness they have inherently because their players just make individual plays sometimes at the start of rounds, it's really hard to read them still. But there is some problems with how they do stuff there, and it'll be interesting to see if Wendler can patch up some of those things. I think there's a reason why a team like Fnatic often does well against Paper Rex, because, you know, someone like Bosa can look at those patterns, you know.
This is smart. They want to take the space before getting the spike down, understanding that the way to win this round isn't just...
What's Leo's best trait as a player? His ability to read the game and position accordingly. His position, like, he was the most positional. I think recently. Sorry, I'm really like this. Like, I have a hard stop in 2 hours. I'm probably not even gonna get through a map at this point. I think that there's been a bit of a discussion recently about positional coaching. I think I was having this discussion with Sideshow, and he was saying he thought that positional coaching was underrated. In League of Legends, positional coaching is usually when it's quite often like a former pro player often is a coach for a role often. So like the AD carry has a coach for that position. In Valorant, I think it would be more about helping players figure out the micro. So like, let's say we're playing like a 2-1-2, and we know that we're just gonna hold this site. The positional coach would probably go in and look at the exact angles in which the players are playing and what utility micro they're using and things like that. The very much the details of things. And I think in terms of and then like, you know, if they got to rotate, when to rotate, all that kind of shit. I think in terms of a positional player, in terms of positionality, I think that Leo is the best positional player, if that makes any sense. Like, he's going to be stood in the right spot at the right time consistently. If Leo continues playing, do you think he'd become an S tier IGL? No. I do not think Leo would make an S tier IGL. Because being an IGL requires... Most of being an IGL is being a leader. And I think that Leo has good leadership traits, but also some very bad ones. And he'd need to learn how to work with... he'd have to figure out how to compensate for parts of him that are like, wouldn't make him a good leader, if that makes sense.
Fair rounds, realistically, even if the Vitality would have had the one-up, they had the operator out, they had the investments that they wanted.
Like, let's be real, like, I'm not, like, this, it sounds like being very blunt and brutal about it, but, like, Leo's a kind of reserved, passive person, you know? Like, you want your IGL to be someone who's gonna, you know, be a bit more, you know, forward and expressive and stuff, you know?
This is a coach that not only we've been praising the last time.
To be honest, and they need them now. No more time to mess about and come second best.
Yes, this should do.
A team that start their 2026 season off the highs of December this
Chronicle can't find the lineup.
December this year.
Okay, so Derka is being used as... So they saw the trip, and the weird thing is that Dirk is playing the position in which they're gonna hard clear him to break the trip, I think.
Shields.
So I don't I don't know what Dirk is doing. What is he doing? If I did this in ranked, I'd be like, I'm a fucking idiot. What am I doing? What's Dirk doing?
Dust9 able to find the opener.
Also dealing with the tripwire.
Is Chronicle in Dirk on purpose here? What's going on? Someone's pissing someone off here.
26 season off the
They're not
highs
really thinking.
of December this year.
So there is a disconnect happening for sure here.
Shields.
Spotted and removed. Dust9 able to find the
VCT
opener.
Pacific is just over a week away. How confident are you going into your first match? I just talked about this earlier. I don't know.
Still, this round is looking like it's relying on individual heroics because of how split apart they are. You saw in the other.
I think reasonably speaking, you know, I think we should embrace being underdogs, you know. So having no expectations is probably a good thing. I think kickoff would. I think I'd have higher. I will be more frustrated later in the season if we still weren't doing well. But at kickoff, I'm not as annoyed. Yinsu got the bag. You know what happened here as well? You know who got Yinsu the bag, by the way? You know, it's not even a thank you. Not even a... Because someone else was asked first. And I help my people out, you know? I help my people out.
Because that they were going for playing for that gamble stack we saw over towards B, similar to on the second round. They had all 4 pistols in towards A, so a little bit of a different look. So maybe can try and
How can you get the bag? How can you get the bag? That's a good question. You need to kill Alberto. You need to kill Alberto. That's what you need to do. For anyone who doesn't know, Sero's a producer on the EMEA show, but he's not like, I don't know how you call it, but like there's two like lead producers, and then he's like I don't know, below them, I guess. So yeah, Alberto is one of our lead producers. So I think Kim needs to kill him to get the bag. Is Alberto Italian? No, he's Spanish. Which can be fun and annoying because he gets an allegiance with Kakuka. So inherently, you know, I'm always punching upwards.
Vitality have numbers. And Carmine Corp have picked their poison. They just have to hope that they can swallow up.
What's happened here? Anti-eco again, by the way. Anti-eco again? I'm a genius?
Undetected is Prophet who finds one. Looking for more, but it's
I am a genius.
that activates. There's so many layers to this defense.
What if I... Ignoring all of the problematic parts of Kanye West, do you think if I started just acting like him in like the mid-2000s or like the 2010s, the early 2010s, that would go down well?
You take them before the Yuka round, so you have a little bit of extra time to adjust, poke and prod at the setup that KC are going for. Hell, go sort them out. You only got a sheriff. Like,
No, he wasn't a Nazi back then. Wait, I shouldn't say that on stream, should I? I don't know.
Anyway, really, that's got to be a boost to the vitality side.
You got a contract, Kim? Wait, is that a good thing or is that just a normal thing? You just mean normal thing. Oh, okay, nice. That's good.
Plenty of opportunity to.
Oh, interesting. So what's the Mr. Just some conditioning?
Good still for Carmine Corp.
But Dirk is out middle already. You see this? Like, so KC are trying to do a little bit of fake pressure on middle. But Dirk sees nothing, so he's like, well, this isn't real. What's going on? Something happening. And then they've gone back to this smoke, which means okay, so they have gone back to this smoke. So they are doing something on A with the smoke, which is good.
Plenty of opportunity
The
to
first long-term
really
contract.
clean that
Do you
fight
mean
up.
like it's like a year-long thing?
Tactically, buries the vitality.
Did I have a
Exceptional
contract with
momentum for now, all silent. You can see a passive approach
I used to.
taken
I think I used to
Chronicle
sign contracts with
gonna be
work.
tested on
You have to
individual
sign a
skill,
contract when you
plenty
work,
of
right?
numbers heading his way, and you can see there is an ult in response. This could be scary.
That's a
Chronicle
fucking
gets the
shot.
opener. A fantastic shot. Needs a few more.
That's a
Chronicle with
beautiful
both
round.
scary. Chronicle plenty of numbers heading his way, and you can see there is an ult in
This
response.
this is a bit like watching Chronicle and Alpha Year, but with roles reversed a little bit in 2023.
A fantastic shot. Needs a few more.
That Waylay slow is very nice as well.
A huge hat trick. Levin, Shados left to recover, and to be fair, they haven't done a
What's
bad
this
job
breach?
so
Why
far.
are people loving
5
breach
on 2
again on
to
this
a
map?
3 on 2, but Levin now removed. And
Oh, it's
all
because they're not
on
playing
Shados.
Yoru.
A Chronicle-esque round required from him.
Let's pull on towards vitality from the. But the only thing is, it's vitality that stands tall. And
Hey, you
it's
don't look
nice to
40.
see that for them to be letting the dust settle in towards that 3v2, that they're not having the same mistakes that they were showing in the previous. Now, early on,
Health insurance,
Dirk
lovely.
back with the operator,
Yeah,
back
Germany.
now
Yeah,
with
I guess
a
that's
little
good
success
for Germany.
early on.
Saigetsu gets some.
Back with
Corona's
the
done very well
operator,
again.
back now with a
Why
little
didn't?
success.
Why is Saigetsu not using his smoke though? He used this smoke the entire game to condition, and now can actually use it to scale, and decides to just take a dry duel instead.
+9 there for a trade of sorts. I mentioned
That was
how
strange.
prolific Durka was with the operator in that game against Brata Mix, and I mentioned
I'm back now.
+9 was with the operator in that game against Brata Mix, and now he's starting to show
The
for it.
Fade getting away. Like the only thing about Fade that's good at playing B is getting info here. It works pretty well against the double Judas
Now the
comp
ultimate economy is starting to lean in favor of the defenders,
for that
which
reason,
can get a little bit scary when you're looking at the Waylay ultimate.
and I can't be
right?
bothered to
The
expand.
retakes, but the map is incredibly small right now for KC.
Made to feel that way by design. Chronicle.
I get to expand, like if KC only have one piece of util to get into the space. So if Fade is here, if they Prowler and see nothing there, they can take the line again and then be pretty confident they're not going B. And then like they have to contact in. They can't get her out without with using utility. So it's like they have to commit numbers to getting her out. Like it's always risky, and then like it becomes a little bit obvious that they're gonna go B, if that makes sense.
Calming court put down to 2. Vitality
Hell
double
divers.
numbers, and
Oh, I've been playing a lot of Valorant the past few week. Past week, I uninstalled TFT. I've been playing a lot of Valorant. I won back almost all my elo yesterday. I lost about 10 games. I lost almost 10 games in a row 2 days ago. And then yesterday I gained it all back, I think. I played again last night, yeah. I played till about 4 AM. I was frying a couple of games as well. I've realized I'm actually I should just play recon because I'm actually quite good at it, despite the fact that ranked is horrible for recon. And now I'm actually learning some lineups and getting a bit more impact that way. And I think it's fun to watch me playing recon anyway, because I do think that like you can see, okay, like maybe Mini's a little bit of a noob, but you can kind of see that I'm kind of smart, you know? I'm making decisions that are a bit smarter. And my clutching has been insane, to be honest. I still entry on recon. I'm entering on recons because these bots don't entry. They just, and I don't want to bait. Ranked bots don't entry. Zaysh with the timeout. Okay, so back to weak side B. So it's the 3A again. They're opting for Waylay ult retake B, maybe? I mean, if KC come here, they're fucked to the Waylay ult. But now I want to see with this Prowler. If this Prowler sees nothing, I now want to see them turn around and get ready to trap middle.
Strong ultimates, especially for retakes or even just for the anchor holds.
Nice start, Profek.
So you got the breach ready with the stun, and Dereka could be ready with slow here. He could also get ready to ult.
Finding the open up. It's
I don't like what he's doing.
Nine removed. The second as Durka still a thorn in the side of this KC.
It's a bit risky.
Trying to squash down any opportunity of Vitality.
What could... So they did have the trip as the trigger, but they broke the trip really quickly. I wouldn't have hated, honestly. I would not have hated putting the trip further back. Just to give a little bit more time. Maybe? I don't know how it would have worked. They need a smoke on middle right now.
Pretty strong previously.
They smoked B main to try and dissuade a B, but I think if the idea is... it's pedantic. It's pedantic. It's hindsight. It's hindsight.
Some pretty strong ultimates, especially for retakes or even just...
The timing was just a little bit unfortunate.
Nice start, Prof. This case backing into the game, but instead it's gone from bad to much.
Blank presence, normally...
This is the problem with this comp. Like, how does the attack sniff out that kind of... Like, this is a very heavy... It's a much heavier trap comp with the Waylay Breach Cypher. And this comp is a bit more contacty, right? So, if they're going to contact space... Oh, I'm so fucking nasally, man. If they're going to contact space, I'd want to see them do it with, like, explosivity. If they don't do the explosivity, they're probably going to get caught a lot of the time. I don't know.
As ever. Now, opportunity to equalize with KC on towards lower weapons.
Do you think Astra is viable on split at the moment? I need like a command for Astra. Astra is not viable on split. Astra is the best controller in the game by a wide margin, and it is more than viable on every
This
single
is
map.
exactly what the timeout was trying to avoid. And Dirk already throwing his hat into the ring with the first and back to safety.
Dirk had a really slow start to this map, but it's nice.
I've always liked Astra more than Omen, but in this meta,
Punishing KC on every move that they make.
it's not close.
Chronicle. Yet again, setting up in a passive way, not overextending into sight. Jump spotting in, waits for his teammates to arrive before thinking about making any intrusions to defend.
I mean, playing into a site can be a little bit scary with the ultimates available.
Durka, going to be tested. He's got to be careful. Can't find a thing. Thinking about making any.
What's
KC,
happened
but it's
here?
Nice to see that he's picked things up.
First and timeout was trying to avoid equalize with KC
So another
towards lower weapons.
another
This is
refract.
exactly what the timeout was trying to avoid. And Dirk already throwing his hat into the ring.
Yeah, I mean, Casey's comp is, again, like, they're contacting
Timeout was
space
trying to equalize with KC on
against
towards lower weapons.
a trappy
This is
comp.
exactly what the timeout
Yeah. I guess they just need to send it.
was trying to avoid. And Dirk already throwing his hat into the ring.
Send it on an exec. A or B.
Before thinking about making
This comp isn't got the best B hold. I think I just send it B.
any intrusions to defend.
I mean, playing into a site can be a little bit.
Who do you think has the best capture this year? I don't know. I've not looked.
Going to be tested. He's got to be careful. Can't find a thing. The stinger of-
I'm such a bad content creator. I've started, like, realizing, like, I've been watching K-Drill for some inspiration. I just need to react to stuff more. Like, the problem is that all I want to do is watch Valorant and talk about Valorant, and everything else seems superfluous, but I kind of need to start thinking differently. Like, most people play this game and actually know what the skins are and stuff. Like, I don't even have skins, you know?
Rounds of rounds with an eco. We saw it for Vitality. Obviously, a lot to be credited towards Yampy with his triple kill with a.
Like, it's not to say that I don't care about skins, because I do. I genuinely believe skins make me play better or differently. It's just that, like, I don't know. It almost gives me anxiety. Like, the way, like, the new patches and the new content always, like, it gives me a bit of anxiety. Like, whenever there's new stuff out, there's this, like, urge for everyone to start talking about it. And I almost, like, get, like, I almost get anxious about it. Like, I almost, like, put it to the side. I'm like, oh, who fucking cares? Let's come back to this when, like, everyone's relaxed a little bit. It's almost the same with films sometimes. You know, when there's, like, a really hyped new film coming out, and it's a bit like some people think it's shit and some people think it's good. I'm just like, let's move that to the side. I'll watch it in like a year when nobody's thinking about it anymore.
KC warmed up back into this game, as you say, a small drought, but one that punished the
Mighty
early lead
Supreme's
that they were
decent.
able to put together.
I think it's funny though, like I saw a critique of it that was like
The rest of this half
that one of the
still
Safdie brothers,
very
like
much applied towards A. Smoke's
he's
being
basically just
dropped,
made uncut gems
just
3
delaying.
times,
They know the other player is
which is kind of true, I think.
But the thing is, it's still
It's almost like until he wins an Oscar,
love playing in towards
just
this
keep
mid
making
position.
uncut
It has
gems in
allowed
like
them
slightly different
to split
ways,
in towards
and
A or
then
split in towards B. This time,
we can explore
the
other
latter.
ways.
With only one player here, 5 players converging on his position.
move away. Drop in the lead. This
Operator, you want to be letting go. And
Yeah, Durka has. Yeah, I'm gonna have to write this down for vitality. So let's write down some vitality stuff. I mean, it's obvious we're gonna have to talk about for vitality. Super Team version 2. Compositionally, quite interesting
wanting to go through their
approaches.
gates with the operator, but to get to starting to heat back up.
KC warmed up back into this game, as you say, a small drought. But
Yeah, I liked uncut gems a lot.
Punished the early lead that they were able to put
I watched it
together.
recently again. Did I watch it? I think I watched it on the plane on the way back from Japan or something.
Pressure still very much applied towards A. Smoke's being dropped and just
It's a good film.
delaying where they know the only player is from KC, so Getsu has to move
Or maybe I
away.
watched
The
it
thing is, it's still
with a
mid-focus from KC.
friend
They
or something.
love playing in towards this mid position. It has allowed
I
them.
can't remember. I watched a lot of
to play
films
towards A
recently.
or split in towards B. This time, the latter. With only one player
Cron is
here,
solo B.
5 players converging on his position. Thankfully,
Oh,
there's
Omen
movement
ult,
from
okay.
Profek into support.
And he's there on time, but will he be on cue? It's Chronicle.
That's interesting. What the fuck is Levin doing?
5 players converging on his position. Thankfully, there's
Was he
not
trying to
from
dash on top of the
Profek
box, or was he
into
purposely
support.
dashing into that wall? That looked very purposeful that he's just dashing into the wall.
He's there on time, but will he be on cue? It's Chronicle.
Mm.
Ever living in the back of sight, just satchelled into the air, will eventually be his down. Ever living in the back of sight, just satchelled into the air, will eventually be his downfall. Thought that Profek was going to be the pin.
They're not time born.
Thinking about you two towards spawn, but it's all on Yampi, and it's
Looked back, takes it off guard, wants to hold over towards.
Cron has essentially solo won them a couple of rounds here.
Because you know there's a player there, but forgets about spawn. Now up on towards 7, KC guarantee themselves.
Was Derek at the same level as 2023? I think he was very good last year.
Back out for vitality. No ultimates.
He had a dip in stage 1, but he was I think the highest or second highest rated duelist in stage 2, the highest rated duelist in stage 1, and maybe one of the best players at Bangkok. It's funny how people's perceptions change. And he had some stinkers. Like against Fnatic, he had a game where he was just on Haven, where they were like, I don't know, like 9-3 up or something, and he was just like turbo inting.
Leaving Levin over towards B main. Dealing with the Cypher utility, but that's also something that they have to be wary about over towards mid.
still a minute to act.
It's good timing, Peak.
Behind
Again, like they have one boombot to clear smokes. Honestly, they probably shouldn't even be trying to go through the smoke. They should just wait for it to go down and then go through. And even even then, like it's.
Fight for you to
I honestly think that KC should be more focused on extremity hits. They've spent too much time in middle, I think, with this comp.
No ultimates. KC got a couple.
I do think that with the Astra, the middle control is a little bit easier, like I said before, and probably why they think
Another one, though.
more about middle, maybe. But
Showstopper online. And with so much
Brim
time
Ray's post.
towards the round, getting that
Ray's post.
now this is
What's
Stopper
Ray's gonna do in
over
a
the
post
poking
plan?
and prodding. Leaving Levin over towards B main. Dealing with the Cypher utility, but
Ah, because Ray's can ult in and nade, I guess, but he's gonna be stuck backside anyway. It's not really that, you know. Yeah, to be fair, I think it's a good shout that like they've got big ults and they're still continuing to default. Like even when they have the win condition, like their comp's win condition is go fast, right? And like the round win condition, the ult win condition is use your ults fast. Like, and they're not doing that, which is, you know.
Still a minute to act.
Satchel off the diffuser. It's like, it's not. But that's not really a win condition. The win condition of the round isn't Satchel the diffuser.
His chance to progress into B, instead the smoke pulled and Profek moves ever closer.
Now it's starting to get uncomfortable because everyone from KC in towards.
I think if I was casting, I'd be very critical of this ult usage.
So it has to be the ultimates to get them outside because they have no way of splitting.
Profek going to be asked to step up massively once again. Similar position to the last round. He only found a singular kill from here. Now needs to find a few more. Chronicle caught in the open. The peak. Profek finds even less. It's 0 found in the back of sight. A 3-on-5 that Vitality now have to scramble together. Durka on a big flank. Levin gives the jump spot, but Durka arrives in time. In the meantime, though, DOS9 with a kill on the shorty, leaving Vitality shortchanged in the retake once again. Durka looking to progress through this smoke, but it's all a game of time, and KC...
I wonder how... So kickoff, like, Vitality are going to have to play with Unfake instead of Sio. It'll be very interesting to see how that goes. Like, if like they are likely to do worse with Unfake than they would with Sio. Is that a good or bad thing? Like, if they started the year really well, like, I'm curious how they react. Like, no, what I mean, I guess, is like, if their stocks go down, the risk is that the team becomes less confident, and you know, there's friction. But on the flip side, if we start thinking about them worse, then we don't expect as much, and then like, but I don't think that will happen. I think reality is like if they sucked at kickoff, people are still going to criticize them and think that they should be better, and there's not going to be this release of pressure, unfortunately. Yeah, I do think this stuff matters because players are stupid and look at stuff online. So like until players stop looking at stuff online, like it's actually a thing that you have to think about. Also, just the way that, I don't know, just day-to-day conversations feel different when you're losing versus when you're winning. I don't know, like, it's just like everyone treats you differently in a way. I don't know, like, the staff members are going to talk to each other differently, or like, there's this like subconscious thing that happens when you're sucking as a team.
And the difference between avenue from do to get in towards backside. Yampy, thankfully aware this time that they're playing in towards spawn, jumps down, gets the first, and blessed with enough time to convert on towards Getsu. So sure, it's not necessarily...
I missed the clutch completely.
After the fourth, and for it to be honest,
Every round was individual though, right? Yampy having to win, 2 rounds, Chronicle having to win. Like, there's a lot of individual play. Even Durka with the entries. Yampi's clutching, Dirk's aggression, and Chronicle's holding have been like the things that I've noticed so far. Are you going to post your notes somewhere? I mean, I can show you right now if you want. It's not that interesting. It's just I'll need to form this into something and start thinking about it more. It's not. I think for kickoff, my notes don't need to be that good because like when it comes to my notes, I'll usually have like all the results they had recently, all the comps they've been playing recently. You know, and like building off of stuff that we've said in previous weeks and stuff. Whereas like it's fresh and new, so there's not really much to say. It's like most of the focus for the first weeks is like Vitality have got Chronicle. Sayonara as a sub, they got new coaches, like they new super team. Like it's, you know, KC have got like where's Martin gone? Shados is back in an IGL. Like it's more like that. Doz9, what the fuck's he doing here? You know.
The defender side of Split against the KC.
Are you just working on the desk or is casting the cards too? I think it would be desk. It'll be desk. If they do tricasts at all, then maybe I'll be asked to tricast, but it'll be desks.
Half now. The only thing they have to be careful of is
I would like to. I was thinking about it recently. I would like to practice more though, but I need someone to practice with. So like, yeah. I think what would have been good if I hit up Dracos in the off season and just said, look, let's just have some fun and do something stupid and like cast some shitty tier 2 games. Like some off season tier 2 or something. I don't know if he would be down though, but like that could be fun. I enjoyed working with Dracos.
There's a lot of delay utility.
Vitality willing to pick up the pace. Shados with the opener dig through the wall.
Wait, so what's the
There's a lot of delay utility.
Brimstone Bianca. Okay, so we gotta pretend that this is Astra or Omen. Like, you gotta think Astra Omen here. This is reasonable, right? This is reasonable. Like probably, I'd suspect that this would be an Omen. I'd suspect, and this would be an Astra. Raise here, breach jet. It's a reasonable default. This is very 2021. Like just bulk standard 1-2-2. You got the jet floating here, you got the raise heaven. The things you're lacking is going to be information deep. A lot of information lacking. And in 2021, it's like people didn't really care that much about information. We weren't very good at playing with information. The question is going to be, how are they gonna play when they lose space? Like if they lose this at the start of the round and then start losing this control, and then there's pressure being applied like on the ramp, and so they've essentially got no info like here. Like how are they going to play once they've lost this kind of level of control? Or how do they stop losing this level of control? Is the question for this KC defense.
Vitality willing to pick up the pace.
KC were Brim believers on 2 maps last year. I don't think they're gonna be a Brim believer here. Hey Wendler, thank you very much. 65 million. It's gone up. 65 million fans from around the world. It's respectable. You should do that, by the way, Wendler. You should build your brand up. You need to fight. Like Paper Rex is so easy to farm. Like you just keep saying stuff about Paper Rex on stream, and then the clip farmers just come out. Like if I YouTube Paper Rex Mini, like I'm sure there's like so many videos probably with like 50k views and shit.
Durka left low, but not dead. Sugetsu tucked in heaven, waiting. Stun to go out. They want these fights to get to, wanting to take it to Vitality. Foot not off the gas between the
Oh, Turbo host from JJ Lishenko? Yeah, that's true too. But just before I joined Paper X, like
these
I
halves.
think Jin gave me one, and maybe Jason gave me a few.
Only a bit of tag damage to the breach to show for it.
And now they've also spotted the retreat of Profek, and on top of that, they're continuing to explore. They don't.
Fights dead. Sugetsu tucked in heaven, waiting, starting to pick up the
There's a lot of delay
I'm
utility.
very confused. So they do smoke heaven.
Vitality.
They want to go.
Pick up the pace. Shados with the opener.
Oh, okay. They basically cancel. They're like, we're fucked. We just go heaven.
Through the Vitality with
But Durka again is like essentially by himself dueling. Nobody's behind him
pick
supporting.
up the pace.
I don't really get.
Shados with the opener dig through the wall. Durka left low, but not dead. Sugetsu tucked in heaven, waiting. Stun to go out. They want these fights to get to, wanting to take it to Vitality. Foot not off the gas between these halves. And so far, so good. Vitality down to 3, and only a bit of tag damage to the breach to show for it.
And now they've also spotted the retreat of Profek, and on top of that, they're continuing to explore. They don't want to be.
An old point from DC into dead.
But how?
Of course, as you can be
This is old
Or
game,
has
yes.
been played any maps in regards to? I think they've got about 5 or 6 maps that have been played. And not even just on towards different maps, just it's an ideal footage for the Vitality coaching staff. So, and not I think coming in towards this stage that they haven't actually had to play many maps in regards to. I think they've got towards different.
thing. Neither team has much tape to go through, right? To learn more about their opposition. KC.
I don't think Wele is a good agent for Durka. Maybe it is. Maybe it is.
Giving them some cold treatment. Shados. Fantastic double between Durka and Chronicle. All left in the hands of Profek, who is nowhere to be seen on the map.
What I'm thinking is, it seems like Durka's still got this strain on attack of potentially sending it too hard, and Wele's entry is catfish in a way. Like, the way you want to entry on Wele is, like, you ideally don't want to go so deep that you have to use your refract every time. And right now, he's playing Wele in a way that, like, I'm worried that he's basically going to end up refracting every single time. So it stops him from inting, but the freedom to potentially tease the int is a problem, maybe. But then at the same time, the aggressive plays he makes, I don't know, like, in one respect very good, in one respect it might not be good. It's almost like with Yoru and Raze, he would know that he can't be too stupid. Like, he really can't be too stupid, and if he's gonna do something silly, he's probably gonna only be doing it when he's got like 10 pieces of util around him. I'd rather see him on Yoru, yeah. I mean, I'd rather see him just play Yoru, yeah, of course, yeah. I'm even tempted to think that at this point, Jet, but Wele is better. It's just the ways in which I see him take space sometimes. I'm just he couldn't make plays like he did here with the Jet though. He'd be much more like, you know what I mean? In terms of micro, he'd have to come to like that angle, and so like, the Wele options are kind of cooler. But Jet in the big 2026. I mean, it's not ideal. It's really not ideal. But
Inspiration from Tarzan apparently as he swings between rope to rope. Won't change the outcome of the round though. This is still looking very much KC's.
That right click being a headshot is criminal. But yeah, again, it's not really as if Vitality
Jet
are
on
going to win this round.
Breeze.
It's more about damage. Again,
Jet smokes across middle are useful.
similar story for Yampian towards the 1v5. First opportunity in
But
round
you
4
shouldn't have
to
to.
his name. To be concerning now as we're starting to get the rifles back out for Vitality. For KC is, like I said, they don't necessarily have
I mean, I'm
the
presuming
best
it's Euro with Jet.
running
Like, we're
with
talking
Darduke
Jet
plays
second
the level
duelist.
controller. Sure, you still have the molly from DOS9. But you're looking towards what Durka can do on towards the waylay. A dive composition really plays into
Just
the fact
full, like, it's full gamble A. If they go B, I don't imagine we're going to see them try to hold.
that KC don't have a hard sentinel. Not or full
And then there's
coverage
nothing A, so they just rotate, gamble
like
towards
the
B.
Vitality side.
It's going to be a little bit of pressure on A.
Limited time
Is that
for
pressure going to let
Vitality
them all
make
cut through
comeback.
vents, or what is it for?
4 rounds away
No,
from
it's
concluding
actual
the
just
first
pressure to
map.
go
Let's
B
not
split.
forget.
I think. But the Cypher staying means that there's options still.
Carmine Corp with all the chips. Plenty of time to use them as well. 50 seconds left. Carmine Corp just delaying. See him in the game. Vitality has
Don't hate it.
50 seconds
The way they refract dash to clear vents, but like at the same time, we're using an eye anyway. And like,
left. Carmine Corp just delaying. See him in the game.
yeah.
Vitality have to be held back.
There's a lot of util.
Good start for Chronicle. Now there's caught out with the Phantom.
But with Shados's position as well, at least that's some security for KC to know that they're not rushing in off the back of that. They're not gaining any sort of space, but the space that they have to
And
control
now they
now
just
is what Durk is
go
genuinely
2 and 2
Now Heaven's under
and just
that
try to hold
fatigue.
everything.
The KC players starting to get a little bit nervous.
Fake on B,
Maybe they should be.
going A.
Spy-
They're stuck in spawn. Like, this is a horrible 2-man hold.
Jump from left to right as they try and get out of the util. Have to move back.
Avoid the damage.
Really nicely done. There is a plant out.
Do you think Viper's still necessary on Breeze? I would play Viper on Breeze in most comps, yeah. I think Viper's still necessary, yeah, pretty much. Yeah. There will be teams who maybe don't play Viper, but they should be.
Good catch. DOS9 caught out in the
Never
venting.
understood the Durka glaze. I think that's bait, right? It's gotta be bait. It's gotta be bait. We're talking about the second highest rated duelist of all time at international events, right? Right?
Towards heaven. Yampi with one, Chronicle the second.
Like,
Shadow
how do you become the second highest statistical player and say that he's not
finding a third, but
good?
Prophet there to put this round to
Do you think
rest.
Astra's viable on Breeze?
Could have
Yes.
been an expensive one. Only a
It's
couple
bait mini, no.
out of the Vitality
It's
hand.
not like I'm angry.
Themselves. Still opportunity.
The problem with Twitch chat, right? And it's the problem in general is that it's like one of my friends. Okay, I have a friend called Andy, and Andy says some dumb shits quite a lot of the time, but he's also quite smart. But sometimes he says some dumb shit, but he also likes to bait. So Andy sometimes does baits, and I get rage baited. But then he's like, "Haha, rage bait," and I'm like, "But bro, you say stupid shit like that all the time. Like, how am I supposed to know? Like, it's I'm reading you as a person. The joke's on you." So yeah, so that's what Twitch chat is like. Twitch chat is Andy. Because you motherfuckers can say some dumb shit, and I've got to react to when I hear dumb shit. Get Andy on. Andy's actually a very important person in FPS. Andy is responsible for many of in a weird way. You know the meme of like there's like these the dominoes and like the little domino. Andy is the little domino because his mom let him use his credit card to buy a Ventrilo server in like 2006 or like 2008 or something, and that meant that we had Andy's Vent, and Andy's Vent was where everyone played Counter-Strike Source in the UK community. So like, you know, Henry G, like those kind of people would all be on Andy's Vent playing games, or like Eamon, Sliggy, me, etc. I'm a bit of a latecomer to Andy's Vent, but like all the kind of people would be hanging on Andy's Vent, getting good at Counter-Strike. And that turned into, you know, Neil, Weber, Sliggy, Mini, Imi, etc. All being coaches in some respects, you know. So shout out to Andy's mum.
This game to hold on to their lead, yet recoup
The Vitality manager, Andy. No. Andy lives in Brighton with his wife and
I
kids.
mean, the thing is,
He's one of my
KC
friends.
towards this one, it was their bonus anyway, right? Sure, you're able to
Durka was the highest rated player on
damage, but
international
the side of
events.
KC
I think he's the second highest rated duelist of all time. At least above like 100 rounds. Or 200 rounds or something.
the bonuses have been incredibly strong.
Get Andy's mum on. Andy's mum also lives in Brighton now, and she is quite a nice person. Met her a couple of times.
Their anti-bonus round, but now into
When I went to his wedding, she said I was very sweet. So shout out to Andy's mum.
A little bit more preemptive in regards to the rotates for their start. Thankfully for Vitality, they're able to stabilize on towards their anti-bonus round, but now into
Dash Heaven, you can saturate the vents. Doesn't look as good as what it feels. And then he... Where's our entry now? Now he's got a... He refracts out. Now we have no entry. What's going on? What are these strats? This isn't... I'm not reading into this too much. I don't accept this. That's your highest rate if they're right there. Where's our entry?
You're looking at the side of Vitality. You've got Breeze. You have a Fade Nightfall available. Do something of a pace change, maybe hit in towards A fast or put some pressure.
Oh, you're Portuguese.
Side because we saw how
bro, this guy comes from a country that has never had a VCT player.
The rotations.
Fucking to be fair, Fizzy has been. Fizzy should be in a VCT, but
Tasked with holding on towards that B site. You can see the setup shift from KC a lot heavier over towards A and towards mid for those fast rotations.
Olizera, Tamazi. That's how little I know about your country. Is that like I forgot. Lohan, I remember. Yeah, Lohan, I remember.
Chronicle to remove.
I don't know why I play him in Portugal. I quite like Portugal. I like Portugal. I went to Porto once. It was very nice. Oh, I also went to a villa recently in the south of Portugal. That was very nice. I've been to Portugal twice. I like Portugal. Bro, our country is the size of Turkey's talent. Bro, your country's tiny. It's not massive. Okay, Serto, if you were to rank Judas in EMEA 1 to 12, where does Durka land 1 to 12? Because I think he is easily top 2. He's easily top 2. And there's a tier gap below him. Maybe I don't know. Maybe I'm hyping Sop up too much. Maybe Sop gets into that. Hydrate, thank you. I'm gonna drink my Pepsi Max. Okay, so A's been terrible for us. So this time we reveal here, and if it hits, the breach stuns, and we capitalize. Now we smoke now we smoke Durka off heaven, so that he can't do anything stupid.
Chronicle to remove the boombot.
He's even going wandering on main, so that's even more information for KC to work with.
And as you can see, that the reaction from KC is to rotate. They've got a player in the vents. Careful that They can dive towards rope. Instead, Vitality come out.
Ah,
the
that's
same.
just ult, you noob.
And with a triple stack towards heaven, I don't think KC are going to be too bothered about giving up the side.
Okay, so
themselves.
ramp control. The late lurk here gives a win condition. Getting the open plant here is massive. Vitality are in a very good position. They could even get Breach Razor out here.
Have a peek over towards mid. Profek is going to be on towards this late flank. It's just how
It's a
much
nice
time
Razor.
can Vitality delay?
They're going to try and kick things off here. Vitality, nice shot from Aves with the showstopper. Knew that Chronicle was playing in and about.
The Owen lurk here is fantastic from Profag. 11. 11. So 11's job. So in a retake like this, typically we call this like a ramp retake. The objective usually is if we've lost this control, you keep a player stood right here, looking this way and looking this way, and then eventually we'll come up to here and help support look over the side. 11's decided to go walkabouts and dies. He should, like, I know this looks like he should be here. He shouldn't be pushing forward. Because then it gives us numbers to do 2 or 3 people here and then 1 or 2 people here. And he becomes the contain on heaven and C2. And then should deal with this lurk, but that's honestly, if he was a very, very smart player would probably be able to contain this and then think about the potential lurk and then also support the site. It's like kind of hard to do everything though.
Diffuser's already being stuck though. Vitality is doing nothing to stop it.
Realistically, Durka would be top 8, right? 8 to 9 for me right now globally. So I mean, I don't think Aura is top 2. Aura could be 3rd, but I think there's a tier gap between him and Durka.
I don't know if they didn't hear it. I don't know if they can't.
My hot take is that Sop might be 3rd. Sop might be 3rd. I also think Martin might be 3rd. Like, I know he didn't have a great year, but he might be 3rd. He should be 3rd. Comeback could also, like, it depends where your allegiance lies. Comeback was not amazing. I think 11 is hard. Like, to bet on 11 is like, he's like really dark horse. I think 11 is dark horse.
Or at least putting pressure onto Sayonara, not wanting to peek out that smoke until time is really nest. Smoke dropped on. This is the one. And it's a walk down mid. KC ever proactive. This is the one that you're looking. Deep pickings for KC. Now in towards this one. Sure.
So there's not really much to comment on defense because like it's such a weird comp. They're doing a one way and walking down.
And it's a walk down mid. KC ever proactive.
11-6. It really is do or die now. Sugetsu aggressive.
What is Yampi doing?
KC ever proactive. Weapons back.
So it's kind of unlucky that Yampi finds himself on this side when his team are. The other underrated thing about Astra, just to get back to that, is that against what you counter one ways. You always counter one ways with Astra because all you do is you see a one way, you put a star next to it, you dissipate, and you run it. The one way no longer exists.
For KC, now in towards this one. Sure, we've got the weapons back out. This is the one that you're looking towards being that conversion off the back of the.
It's hard for him not to int here. He doesn't want to stand here and Prowler from here. But then if he walks up, it's kind of awkward. It's not like he's inting. It's just it's like difficult to do stuff here. He should accept though that he's got 2 clove smokes out though, and just to Prowler back here is probably fine.
11-6.
I'm not tier listing today.
Really is do or die now. Sugetsu aggressive. Prowler gives away the game, but still able to find one. Durka has to slip into cover as he fluffs his lines onto 11. TP across for Profek as he'll.
People don't talk about Miniboo. Miniboo could also be 3rd. I think I would put Miniboo actually above. I don't know. It's so difficult. I do think that there is a clear top 2.
not willing to return the favor. Peeking towards heaven to get to with one.
And then
and the
between like
counter.
comeback, Aura,
But it feels like
Levin,
Vitality
Minibu,
outgunned at their own game. Profect
it's
finds
like
one in response, but it's always from these disadvantages
it's like
that
difficult to
Vitality need
rate
to
them
crawl back
over each
from.
other.
40
And even like
seconds
Sop
remain.
in that mix, like
Low
it's hard,
HP
it's
on
difficult.
Prophet, spotted now by Levin once more.
There's a lot of
Join
inconsistency
forces, but
in the
for
Judas role
Vitality, yet again,
for these
another
players.
2vx scenario that they have to come back into
All of
from.
those clear Durka.
Benefit is the defensive. So at least they can
Okay.
isolate a 2v2 to some extent, but the time ticking.
Okay. I'm not even gonna bother. Just go look at stage 2
conversation of if
stats.
they even drop in. Smoke goes down, so they're
Who
gonna
is
be
Sop? The
committed to
off.
it, but
He will be the
Levin
off Judas.
only has to hit one bullet, and it's a spray from left to
Sop.
right.
Sop. Okay. I'm gonna Sop. So Sop plays in off. He can't play at the start of the year yet. But the VCT EMEA finals, he just was shitting on people. Where's CNED in the ranking? CNED is, yeah, CNED's in that mix too, right? It's like impossible to, it's impossible to count CNED out here. I do think that it'll be interesting. It'll be interesting. He was really good on, he was decent on smokes. He was decent. Like his aim was decent. He is still doing well back here. Yeah, I think underrated actually. CNED has fallen off completely. What?
Right. And an easy
I think it'd be
initial
very
knockout
easy to
for
convince you,
KC
sir,
towards that
to
round.
if a player's good or bad, because all you do is you do that thing when like when Demon 1 was first being in Americas, was playing quite well. Like, but Demon 1 at the start wasn't playing amazingly. He was playing good, but he wasn't like world class yet. And he had a good highlight, he had some good highlight frags. So all you do is you show you the highlight frags and say this player's amazing. And then I think you would buy it. I think Serto just thinks hit some nice shots equals good.
12 first for Vitality. They need 6 in a row to take this to OT. Any less, they'll be walking away from Split without a map next to their name. And yet again, I mean, it's just been the story of the half, and even the map is, in most of these rounds that Vitality lose, if not all of them, they are always fighting from a disadvantage. You know, 1, 2 players down. Always going to be tricky when you put yourself in situations like this. It is last-ditch efforts now for Vitality. Let's see how many they can get, or if any at that. And already, Levin, good start. Yampi, caught. Aves moves forward. Got to be careful. All
Punish
sorts of util being pushed his way. And you're right, Chronicle. Aves moves forward. Got to be careful. All
Punish
sorts of util being pushed his way. And you're right, Chronicle, there to punish.
That's the least important. Sure, they don't necessarily get the trade on towards mid, but they get an avenue in towards A. The only
Okay,
problem is
I've
there's 3 players here
been
already, so Genshin
underwhelmed,
wants to fight
but
40
Vitality
now.
are playing an
They're not
underwhelming
there
comp.
yet as
They're
well.
playing
Back down.
the lesser good smoker, a bad sentinel, and a bad initiator. So it's like
Already,
the comp is just kind of bad.
Vitality, with the space that they're gathering over towards B, Profek is calling his team back.
He's going to be put into an interesting spot. Walks in towards
Circa's
mid.
literally a team managed
Saw that
duelist.
last time.
I agree with that. I'm starting to agree with that. I think Circa needs to be managed, yeah. With no differential factors, no high tier mechanical base. That's not true. Circa's mechanics are better than most of the people that you can't. If he was so like, I think we would agree that Vitality was not ran particularly team managed in your, you know what I mean? Vitality was not like team managed, you know what I mean? And yet, statistically, he was the second best duelist last year in Europe, and it wasn't close.
Holding for it. Levin again.
I'm telling you, yeah, but if Vitality exposes Durka's flaws more, why was he still so good? He will fall off eventually. Yeah, of course he'll fall off eventually.
And there you have it. The Brimstone
Like, of
activate.
course he's gonna fall off eventually. Like, I don't know. Like, he will. Like, of course. Like, he's gonna be in his mid-20s soon, and probably, you know, he's gonna have been playing for like 7 years at the highest level. Of course, he's gonna end up thinking, you know, do I really want to do this all day, every day?
There might be half a chance that they can win this round, but someone needs to do something. They're trying to burn the clock. Vitality.
Soon people will realize. you can't you're playing a game which is impossible to lose. If you say he's bad, but people will realize it eventually because he will become bad when everyone becomes bad, you can't beat that argument. You can't beat that argument.
With 3 on for 4, everything needed.
You'd be number 1 gaslighter if you argued like this. He's not wrong, but he's not wrong, no.
The underdog in these matchups off the back of
Okay,
that
right. Shit map. We go map 2. We got 15 minutes to go to map 2. Bind. Vitality kind of fuck on them on bind. Bind or corrode? I'm gonna go bind. Corrode was more interesting, compositionally speaking. But bind. Let's see some bind. My boy Martin and Sop. Look, your boy's there, your Portuguese brother.
There as well. The Whaley was a key factor in regards to being able to go.
I don't think he lost money on Villa.
Up and over on towards they obviously can do it the Rays as well. I'm not saying
he would be exposed so badly that people realize his flaws were present all along. Durka has always had flaws as a duelist. His flaws are his strength, and his strength are his flaws. Like, the fact that he is extremely confident is a flaw because he then sometimes makes plays he shouldn't be making, and is a bit too hot-headed. His mechanical base being low is laughable. I do think that there are players with higher mechanics. His style of mechanics is very different than other people's too. I think that he's got a natural, like, he's not the flickiest of players, but he does have a very good kind of pre-aim Vandal style. I think his operator play is maybe not at the level of like top 3, top 4 or 5 in the world, but he's a decent operator player. I think his operator could do with a bit of work compared to his rifle. I'm not arguing with this guy. What I'm saying is, like, I'm using this as like a good way to talk about a player that I know and love in a way that's like fair, you know. Durka moves like he's drowning in quicksand. I will agree with that. No versatility on duelists. The first ever primary duelist player to play Rays at international events consistently. The first primary duelist to properly embrace Euro. He didn't play Neon, but that was because of us, not because of him. He wanted to play Neon. Martin, yeah, I guess Martin, but he, like, okay.
It's Vitality that look for a response. Their selection now in the series, it's Bind, our second. Vitality on the attack and coming Corp on the defense.
Already teeing up to be a battle on towards A short. So many players here.
Yeah, I only just started.
Wall up. So
Embracing Euro doesn't mean he's mechanically good at the agent. I don't understand where you think like I maybe I'm too much maybe I'm too much of a stats Andy. How do you get high stats with being mechanically bad? The funny thing about Rays is too is that like when he was frying on Rays, there were a lot of Brazilians saying that he wasn't good. Is this because of Portugal? The Portuguese Brazilian connection? A lot of Brazilians seem to think that Durka's Rays was terrible. And it was really interesting.
Smokes drops, wall up, and flash through. But there's the relay dash up and over. But the thing is, can't get anything done.
I think out of all
His
out of all the agents, I think he is most comfortable on Jet.
Got to be careful here, KC. Don't want to overstay their welcome, and they decide that playing from a more
interesting round. Using Waylay as like a bait, we could dash in, refractor. Oh, it's not Waylay, it's fucking Raze. Raze, satcheling in. We can use the TP if we get to the TP position. But ultimately we're going to walk into hooker. We're basically denying the TP crunch and then also can use it as a cancel option. If we don't get up here, we can just come this way. It's an old fake. It's a strat that's been done in the past. I mean, this smoke should be alarm bells. This smoke should be alarm bells. Is this the attack smoke? Yeah, this smoke is alarm bells for anyone who's... If you're able to communicate in the moment at all and read the map, like, these players should be very confused as to why there's a smoke here. And then these players wouldn't over-rotate.
Smokes drops, wall up, and flash through. But there's the relay dash up and over. But
What DPI do I search? I have no idea.
On the other hand, just found to get to already.
And he's looking for more as well. Blood in the water as he approaches towards site. Got to be careful here, KC. Don't want to overstay their welcome. And they decide that...
The thing is, though, like, I think we lack people like... I don't think Serto is... I think he is baiting. I think Serto isn't a Portuguese person either. He played it is a crazy take. He didn't just play it though. He played it at the he was the highest rated Euro at was it 2 internationals that year? I think it was 2 internationals that year. I don't disagree with this either. Like I think that Durka's peak performance is always going to be looked back on at those early times in which he was so much better than other people and time in which the game was early and had a good plan around him. I agree with that take. I think that's a good take. I just don't think that it's to the point where you can say that he's like, yeah, I'm not on board with this idea that he's just going to fall off the face of the planet. You know what I mean? I think that your rhetoric, your opinion is interesting and valid. Your rhetoric is frustrating and probably wrong, if that makes sense. Like, you still, like, the clue here is you still rate him as a top 8 duelist in the world, which means that, like, you're not that down on him. It's just that, like, you're using words in a way that's, like, kind of combative for no reason. I don't really know what like, if you come back to my chat and say, told you so, in, like, 2 years' time or a year's time, like, you've not proven anything to me, if that makes sense. Because I'm not, like, I know what you're saying, and I've not really... Yeah. Yeah. After the season, he will vanish from my top 10. See, that's interesting. That's interesting. That's interesting. I think Valorant lacks people like this, where it's like, you have people who, then I don't think he is baiting at all. I think that we're so not used to original opinions that, it feels like bait. Does that make sense? But then the same time he's got foreign level rhetoric. Like, it would be, I think, in order to, with the Valorant community, there's no, you don't need, like, in order to have a controversial opinion and it actually be kind of interesting,
For Abbott
you
to get
need to
back
do
in
the
there.
rhetoric
Not
properly.
making
You
their way
you
forward.
can't
Shados will trade Yampi
you
for
can't
one.
be this level of
Sayonara stuck in the corner, had Durka for support, relies
coming
a lot on
across as just a
Chronicle.
dick, you know.
Couple of shots, but nothing more than it, especially when Profek is waiting in the wings. Vitality with the pistol.
Oh, and the flash! You almost feel like that
Yeah.
could have been the greatest way back in, because you blind both players in towards Hooker. You look towards the habits of going in, maybe not necessarily getting both, but at least getting one.
Even if your rhetoric good, it wouldn't matter half the time. I think I mean, I think for someone like me, if I was to come out and say something like this, like I know, unfortunately for broadcast and like general opinions in Valorant, it's like if your reputation matters to some degree. And so, like, if I came out and said something like this, I think people would be more willing to listen. But if I came out and said it in the way he's saying it, I think people would just be like, "Why is Mini a dick?" You know.
But Vitality taking well advantage of it.
Is the Durka fall of the same as Yay when the
Unfortunately for
context
them,
changed
they
around
get a
him?
pistol this time.
Yeah.
No.
Change of tune that Vitality
And I don't want to,
will be
like,
happy to see.
I think that yeah.
Two players are about saving their money. Is a very top-heavy investment made by Vitality in
You
the
have
second.
DNE. I am on
3
broadcast, yeah.
premium rifles, 2 ghosts, looking for the most optimal way to do damage.
I mean, I think people in Valorant are too trophy pill being individual. The problem with I like the nuanced discussion happening in Counter-Strike about trophies versus talent. The reality is, though, is that there is some kind of talent involved in winning games that isn't to do with your individual skill. Like, and I don't just mean that in a way that's like being a easy person to work with. Part of the playstyle, I think, even like you could be really mechanically gifted and look like a great player, but at the same time be impactless. You know what I mean? It's really difficult to like quantify, I think.
From the Trailblazer on towards 8. Spots at 1. So it's not much information for Vitality to work with, but Chronicle have a little bit of sneak and walk up short.
Could be in for more as well. You can see that Carmine Corp expecting.
The problem is that I quite like a little bit of like self-centeredness or arrogance. Like I feel like sometimes I'm arrogant, but I feel like I'm allowed to be arrogant.
Now, you can't get too excited because he's on a classic, but there is every world in which he does the maximum. He does get one at least.
I don't know.
And damage.
Dives in front of the shots. It saves the life of one. But loses another. Profek now.
CS is Maui who said Cadian's not one of the great IGLs after he bombed out the last 2 majors after he lost.
A huge misplay from Profek. And Durka can't even find the frag even.
But if you bomb out of the major, that's not that hot, I think, is it? If he was saying that before Cadian bombs out of majors, then that would be kind of sick.
And showing a little bit scary in regards to his first kill on towards Sayonara. And you're thanking your lucky stocks that Chronicle, one of the least.
Just asking, but with Donk, can't it be that he was better stuff because his team was worse? No, from what I understand, Vitality is far more built around Zyru than Spirit is around Donk, but I could be wrong. I could be chatting absolute shit. I could be chatting absolute shit.
KC don't even have that. They have 4 and 1 judge.
Starting heavier towards B. Understanding that Vitality's tendencies in the early round, at least the first 2 rounds of it, have been towards A.
The thing that they have to be careful about, though, obviously we saw
Water.
it
I don't have water.
Chronicle gets the opener, so yet again, Vitality able to punish quite early on into the rounds.
But it also makes KC want to find information.
Okay, let's watch the game properly. Let's stop debating. Right. Attack side. We're gonna focus on Vitality here. Teo. I like having 2 drones on this map. Well, I mean, I used to like having 2 drones on this map.
Starting heavier towards B.
Now I'm like less drone pilled because I feel like B-long control is very easy.
The first 2 rounds of it have been towards A.
Lineup go in the chat.
Obviously we saw it briefly, but
Who's lineup got?
Thing that they have to be careful about though. Obviously we saw it briefly, but Doss in towards hooker.
Kron winning a duel on short.
The opener, so yet again, Vitality able to punish quite early on into the round.
KC VOD.
Hey, hoverboard. Oh, it's hoverboard. I was watching your videos yesterday. I think the problem is, hoverboard, your name is so fucking awful because you spell it terribly that you've chatted in my chat a lot and I've never realized. Like, what's going on with your name? Can you get a brand that makes sense? Like, it's... I was using some of your lineups. I think with lineups, the frustrating thing sometimes is like there's a lot of video content that yeah. Why am I distracting myself? Anyway, thank you for some of the lineups. Okay, so they're just spreading map 2-1-1-1. Pressure everywhere. Now they take the TP. They grab one orb, grab a second orb. 2 orb grabs, and they've got 50 seconds left. I mean, they're playing slow. This is a very old school TP approach. Interesting round. How's Shadow still in tier 1? It's weird, isn't it? To be fair, I'm not gonna defend Shadows to the death, but he is IGNing, so
Economy not the prettiest for Vitality in this round either. You see a couple of
heavy hooker default.
Outlaws. I think there was a Marshall in the mix if I'm not mistaken. It's not amazing for Vitality, but it's enough to try and keep the ball rolling.
I think bind as a map has changed. Like, I think my theory on the map is wrong. I think my theory on the map is wrong.
What he can do, and what he does is get the entry on towards Profek. That's when the smoke is off the board. So now it starts to lean them in towards 8. Couldn't get anything done on beat. Fear the blocked out of it with the smoke.
And so gets to dropping a molly. Not only that, finds one. Ever evasive here towards the short position. A second as the spike gets dropped. Yampi offers up his life. Chronicle pings because they know where players are, but Sugetsu is the gift that keeps on giving. Chronicle needs to find every
This time it was Sugetsu's turn. Proactive.
How did Fnatic do this year on bind? They were decent, right? But were they good on attack side?
And you'll look at Vitality. Sure, they won the pistol and the follow-up, but now they're starting to look like it's falling out of their hands on towards the lower buy.
Generally good at attack side, okay. I might need to watch some Fnatic just to refresh myself. What's my theory? I had some weird ideas about showers and hooker, and I'm not going to go into it.
Could be in for a lot here. Util well out of his sight, and here's them both retreating.
There's a lot of ways that bind's been played historically, and I'm trying to think what I think is best now. Like, the approach where they went 2-1-1-1 was an old approach. The approach where they went into hooker and took it is a pretty modern approach with the smoke here. This approach is fairly unconventional where they have the 2 going up hooker. But it fundamentally is still this like spread default, which is kind of an old school approach.
Oh my word, it's not just into the peak, it's all the way outside. No one's expecting this. This is an easy double for
Chronicle again.
KC caught lacking. The retraction of control towards showers could have costed them the A site. All on Sugetsu yet again to turn up and give Vitality.
You're gonna watch party tomorrow. What's tomorrow?
Benefit though,
No, I'm not watching party tomorrow.
Ultimate comes out just to buy some space, but the thing is they're peeking.
I'm gonna be focused on EMEA. I think the best thing from my stream is I VOD review content. and I only watch party when truly necessary.
And now in towards
The trying to compete with every other streamer when my brand is not competitive with those people because people don't know I stream really. Like, there's no point. Like, you know what I mean? I was getting like, I was peaking like 1.5k viewers when I did VOD reviews, and then quite consistently getting 1k viewers. I don't know how much it was might have been inflated because of paperwork stuff, but like that felt a lot nicer in terms of like actually building a brand. And then also, I prefer VOD reviewing games than I do watching live. I'm not very good at kind of caring in the moment about stuff. Like, you know, like I want to be able to like pause and yap and, you know, and look at a concept more deeply than, you know, watching live and kind of having to almost like it takes a very special skill set to be able to do what I want to do live, and it not and even then you're never gonna get the full experience, you know, of like figuring out what everything is happening on the map and stuff. Fast showers take. That was also kind of old approach, like the sky flash raise such with showers. They've gone for a like, but generally speaking, what their approach is spread map and then choose a lane to send 2 players down. We've seen like, I mean, we saw 3 here, I guess, but we've basically seen them just send 2 players down a lane whilst the others contain. Okay, now Serto, now you're just getting like now you're just being a bit mean. Like, I don't mind people being critical, but I don't want someone like, you know what I mean? I don't want someone just being a dick, you know? So I'd advise you pull back. If you're gonna make comments about Durka, at least make them funny. And then we can continue. He's rage baiting. Okay. Just see his logs. His log seems relatively okay, I think. He just started today, I think. I think, yeah. I think that it was fun while it lasted, but let's rest in peace, Bozo. Can we get the elbows in the chat, please? The annoying thing is that like I liked the fact that he had his takes weren't super unreasonable to me. Like I liked exploring I don't love in Valorant that we just glaze. We glaze a lot, man. Like everyone's good. Nobody's bad. Oh yeah, this player, yeah, glaze. Like no. Let's cut back a little bit and actually assess the situation. Not everyone is good. Not everyone could be good. Not everyone is up to the hype of what they are hyped to be. I respect someone having a different opinion, who actually backed it up with some logic. But unfortunately, it turned out to just be an asshole.
Then, of course, we had the orbital strike dropped in at the end, so quite the expensive round for Vitality to find 4. But I guess they know that this one is the most important.
I do actually miss Steel on the cast because he kind of ripped into teams when he was paired with Panzer. I didn't listen to him that much, but sometimes it felt to me that he was being critical for this. Like, it felt like he was being critical for the sake of being critical. But I enjoyed the fact that there was a critical voice. Yeah. And then also there were some things that Steel was very very clued up about, and I think that this I think he would have survived Valorant as an IGL if Valorant was released a long time ago. As in, like, I get the sense with Steel that he wanted to lead his teams in the way that he would lead a Counter-Strike team, and most of the Zoomers aren't ready for that. Like, he wasn't willing to accept that times have changed in a way. But I did think his, like, from some of the thoughts he had, I remember sending something to Boaster once and being like, you know, Still seems pretty smart about some of this shit. Like, he actually seems quite intuitively understanding of some of this stuff. Still went back to Still went back to CS. He does a lot of, he was doing a lot of desk work for CS.
It's better than a hero rifle. You at least got 2 this time. But it's still a tall ask. DOS with one of them, situated over towards hooker. I believe Shados with the other. So it's
I do think that there is a balance between the way that the stereotype about how Counter-Strike teams are ran and the way the stereotype about Valorant teams are ran, though. I do prefer the softer touch. I do think that, like, I don't think in general, like, this whole Michael Jordan bully your teammates into winning thing actually works. I don't think it's an effective way to lead. I think most people prefer, you know, not to have the pressure on them in that way. And will perform better if they're not. Yeah, so for what it's worth, I do think even though Valorant has a bunch of fucking, like, when I play ranked, it's full of actual morons. I don't know what the word is, but a lot of softness. But I do think that there's a lot of softness needed when you're leading. Blunt but soft. If those things can go together. I think being able to identify what players respond to is part of being a good leader. I'm not even talking about that. I just think, generally speaking, people don't want to have, like, nobody wants the feeling. I've worked with a lot of people, like, I've been in that Counter-Strike era. I've worked in that Counter-Strike era. I played like at a crap level, but, like, I've played in that era. Like, players just become insecure and anxious and overthinking when they're in the environment quite often. What the fuck is happening this round? Another hooker default. Okay, so when they hooker default, it's 3 people. They actually do try to take hooker first. They have 2 drones, so they can drone one and then they drone the other. I'm surprised that with Ray's ult that they didn't use the Rays. Like, what they should probably do is use the drone. If they see anything, then Durka just ults into hooker. How to Make Friends and Influence People was released in 1936. Yeah, I mean, that, yeah. There is a cynicism involved with that level of, like, manipulation, though. Like, I've read some of that book, and I've thought that, like, you can do a lot of those things in that book, but then it does feel like if you start behaving like that, it just feels not real at the same time, too. Like, even, like, they talk about authenticity in that book quite a lot, and it's like, yeah, but I don't know. There is something inauthentic about trying to produce the best possible result in all your interactions, if that makes sense. It is a bit Patrick Bateman, yeah. But I do notice that, like, the people who are naturally better than me socially and able to connect with people better than I do, at least in the shallow way, do a lot of the things in that book.
And you can see, while you did mention the 2 hero buys, the weaponry for KC while standing strong.
Okay, I've been mostly focused on Vitality, and I'm sorry, there's not been much analysis because they are mostly just doing spread map, take a choke kind of style. And there's not really much to say. after taking the choke, if they get it, they usually then try to finish there too.
Astro ultimate as
So
well.
showers means you end B, Hoka means you end here.
Impactful. Good delay.
So I wonder how they get through a Viper Astra.
Short. But it seems like Vitality have started putting their eggs in towards the basket of A with the spike.
Their slow kind of approach is working quite well. But it's like, how do they... I feel like if I was coaching right now and I saw this, I'd be like, we've lost the round. Because I'd be so worried that a good team would just end up pushing at B. And then we're fucked. You know? We'd be fully, like, contained.
It's just whether they can bait KC in towards an engagement.
You have to just have those values in there. Yeah.
Vitality scoop up the early space in the front of sight. Got to be careful for what's behind them though. In showers.
Yeah. I mean,
To get to, but
I still think it's worth... I don't know.
DOS9 only good for one as Sayonara trades out KC 2 on 4, and the players hadn't moved an inch from the B site.
Like, the book says never criticize anyone. Like, it's stuff like that. It's like,
I was saying that
bro, I'd fucking suck if I was... I'd hate my life if I couldn't do that.
they lose this, those actions irreversible.
It's fun. It's fun to be critical.
The information for KC to work off the back to go.
I mean, you gotta choose when to be.
Give them some. Now you're starting.
8 rounds played. Vitality holds 6 of them. A really good opportunity. You can see that the Prowler, do believe, spotted.
Okay, more all in on B, so more of a full B this time.
Towards long.
So both the drones, like, if this is more like they're doing like it's kind of the in between a default and an exec at the same time. So like they use both drones, and if it's clear, they get to go to site quickly if they want to, and if it's not, they still got the rest of the map to use.
They know that there's 2 players.
If there's lots of noise here, they can come up here. If there's lots of noise here, they go up there. Levin loves doing this. He was very good on BBL doing this last year. It's kind of mental though. Like, he doesn't even have refract right now, does he? Oh, yeah, he doesn't even have refract, and he just goes down. He's good. I think this is a good, like, this is a good idea, though. Like, if... I'm surprised this works as much as it does. So the concept is, when a team uses utility to flush you out, and they know you're there, and then you see nothing here, they're probably not going to go here. I think that's his logic, and he just starts going down and catches them on the timing, which has actually worked quite a few times.
Just taking a stroll down B long, and he finds everything. And it's not over yet because Vitality wants seconds.
I don't know if teams playing 10 hours of Valo is correlated positive with having had a good upbringing. I don't know what that means. If you are able to play 10 hours of Valorant a day, you probably are on average in a better position than not, because you had access to a lot of free time and a PC, etc. It's not exactly a very spiritually awakening upbringing, though.
We knew that compositionally they weren't going to be the same team as.
So again, Showers control. Interesting, he's got double satchel in with an AWP. And now he's getting TP crunched. He still gets the frag though. I mean, very fucking risky what Dirk has just done.
More than willing to punish. 2 quick kills plus a bit of extra damage done. That Viper set low and
I mean, he's kind of just opened them up. I'm interested by their approach so far. They still have some strats though, like they're playing mostly slow, take 1 choke and then play slow. But we've seen an all-in on B, and now we're going to see an all-in on A. The all-in on A is mostly to do with their ults though, so we're going to see some fucking giga combo of ults probably. What are my thoughts on Breeze comps after recent changes? I'm not going to talk about that right now.
A little bit of a difference for Levin up on towards the bus. But it doesn't seem to matter. Yampy plucks him out from the elevated position. showstopper. Duka was able to gather space, put fear into the hearts of KC. You can see how far back that they dropped.
Fair play that Yampi sticks that there. Durka! Oh, it's ridiculous. A double. Sugetsu removed from the equation. He was meant to be the safekeeper of A instead. They keep nothing here, KC. Down to 2, and more critically, Vitality.
I want to see Giga tail.
A half law on the other side of the.
As you say, to assuming control of B long, the drone destroyed. Sugetsu wants nothing to do with it.
Outlaws because of half shields, I guess.
His position now compromised. Sayonara could be walking into a few
Yampi's kind of putting desperate fake pressure. Like, this felt very...
His position now compromised.
I don't know.
Could be walking
Oh, it was a Teo Sabo, okay.
for the first. Sayonara.
I think you notice Saigetsu is very good here. So Saigetsu kind of stopped the drone long and then heard a Sabo here, and he doesn't really buy it, and he's like pushing through. I don't love that he's doing that. They're doing aggression on both sides of the map at the same time. It feels very
Only good for one.
unnecessary.
Because now for the defending side.
But I guess they're lowish. They're kind of forced by right now, so I guess it kind of makes sense.
In fact, get nothing much than knowing that short is clear.
What do I think about DOS9 and KC? I think DOS9 is a very good player, and I think that it is probably one of the best moves of the off season.
Can even see the unnerving of KC. You have a double
In terms of like, you know, not in terms of like
2-2
best
center.
player ever, but like in terms of like
Make their way out into lamps. Armageddon utilized towards backside, but fortunately he's not going to.
if I was KC, I couldn't really think of maybe a better player to get that was available.
Vitality, as you say, using the util, creating chances. Levin there to try and stop them. The spike's down, and there's such limited time.
It's not. It basically is not like a Kiko. That's what I mean. Like, it's so difficult to communicate sometimes. Do you think KC could have got Kiko? Let's be real. That's obviously not. So like, like DOS9 is like the best player I can think of that they could reasonably attain. You know what I mean?
Tries to drop another, and will do so. Prophet removed as Chronicle gets vengeance, but not just for one. He finds a second as well. And in perfect
Like, Kiko went to NRG, like champs winning team who
10 times harder for
pays
Sugetsu.
ludicrous.
Almost nullifies the fact that he was coming from that flank from an unexpected position. Forced to navigate through the Viper's pit. Just to get 4 on the half, that's the thing. And with the health dwindling.
KC, I'm sure, like, have access to funds and can do that.
Chance at all.
But reasonably speaking, like, that's not what it's all about. You know what I mean?
Broken in map 1 of Split. Let's not forget. Ever.
Was able for way back in a deficit of 6. A great way to.
KC's comp is interesting, though. What are the weaknesses of Vitality's comp? I was thinking that, like, no Astra means, like, the defaulting is a bit harder, but then, reasonably speaking, they have 2 drones to deal with the Euro op. They don't really have much op pressure. Hey, Hamid. Every EMEO hates Berlin. Okay, there's multiple. Okay, the EMEA hate Berlin thing is most of the players live in shit places and live and work in shit places. Like the way that they, okay, maybe not live, but like the studio is not really in Berlin. It's really far south, and then a lot of the offices that teams operate in are really far south. It's not really. It's like really out in the sticks. Like, it's not nice. I think that East Berlin is nice. I think that, like, I personally don't mind East Berlin. I think that East Berlin is a bit of a culture shock for like a lot of people. But in terms of like where the Fnatic office is actually quite nice. Like, it's quite. I think the Fnatic office is quite a nice setup, to be honest with you. I think that the setups that most of the other teams have in the offices, South Berlin, is quite poor. Like, not the office itself is fine. The offices themselves are fine. It's the location is terrible.
Pistol, and they've been successful so far. 2-1 in pistols.
It's a bit drab.
Vitality on towards the defense, and with the momentum they're running.
And then the other thing is like it's very easy to not like a place when you're away from home. Honestly, it's a bit easy. But at the same time, to attack Berlin, I don't think Berlin does anything I want from a city better than London.
Looking for their window of opportunity, and they'll try it towards B. The wall comes up too late, and that's going to invite KC in. They'll take sight.
I'm a bit of a London defender, to be honest with you.
To retake, but they knew that it was B all along. Look at these flanks coming out. 2 players creeping in from behind, and KC still haven't managed to get the spike down here. Got to be careful. It's an overall 3 left.
Double initiators on A. So full. Oh, it's a full retake B. So we see Star in. So in order to. So remember in ranked games, when I play ranked games, I hate going hooker. But this Star is nice. So like if there is a TP crunch, we can just immediately stun. So we got a stun potential, dissipate potential. It's quite, you know.
2-1 in pistols.
Then there's a pit city for people who drink. No, I mean no. You can be teetotal in London very easily. There's lots of culture stuff to do. There's lots of nice green spaces. It's not the most green city in the world, but it's like there are a lot of green spaces if you want to go parks and stuff. And there's just lots of things to do. Like you're never gonna not be. You can never not find something to do in London. I swear to God. And people who complain about British food, like it's London. Like you're gonna find food like I'm very confused when people whine about London as like food. I'm just like, what? Like maybe it's not like traditional French cooking or something, but like you can find anything. EMEA Lotion could move to London. I don't think it would move to London. It's too expensive. They would try to move. My bet would be on moving to Spain. Because it has a big fan base and it's cheaper. VCT and Liverpool? I haven't been to Liverpool. I think it gets a bit of a bad rap. I think Liverpool seems like a nice place. I don't think it is treated that badly, but I think it's kind of underrated. I haven't been though, so I could be chatting shit. I did live in Manchester for a couple of years, so I can... It was alright. It was a bit more boring than London though. Aves is 1 to 11. They're getting fucked on. Okay, kind of bonus gun round. Skydog hooker is fake. Go up short. So we're seeing a lot of double drones. Do I like it? I mean, I just like Yoru. Yoru too good. I do think it's harder to play Yoru against this kind of stuff, though. Like, having a lot of drones is annoying to deal with. But I think Raze is good. Raze is so strong on this map, and then Yoru is just Yoru right now. Oh yeah, the UK would be terrible for EMEA because it's not a European Union country. That's true. Oh, that's my alarm. I'm gonna have to stop this VOD review in a sec. Once this is done, I'm off. I'm gonna go for dinner. Move VCT to Turkey. That's something I need to. That's a note I need to write down. VCT EMEA should rebrand to VCT Turkey. The problem here is that I feel bad whenever I say Turkey because it's supposed to be Türkiye, I think, but the reason they rebranded to Türkiye is because it sounded like a animal, and I'm not being funny. It's a very stupid reason to rebrand.
Not to be that person, but calling out Dirk here. Struggled on towards split, and now you look at
Oh my god, Eurofan45.
the main reasons why Vitality
You raided me with you and your clone. The Eurofan raided me with him and his clone.
From the first map in towards the second.
Why is a country need a rebrand anyway? I mean,
Between the two of them, 38
I
kills.
mean,
The rest, I think it's something like 50.
food products like milk have fucking brands that they market and sponsor. You know what I mean? Like, it's not that weird to have, you know what I mean? You know. There are very relevant reasons right now about countries and branding in relationship to esports. So, I don't know.
Yampy also went down. Chronicle trying to stand his ground. Full of her, just about.
I'm surprised they're not ready to, like, if you know you're gonna go for a Showers potential thing, why not? They should be ready to do something through the Showers TP maybe. But I think that Prophet probably just has a judge right now. But I'm surprised that Yampy doesn't play closer. It's a little bit risky because obviously if he dogs, then he could get run up on. But
13 points of health.
oh, he is going closer. Okay, I'm a genius, aren't I? I'm a genius. Look at me.
The easiest person to heal, but they want to fight forward.
And Dunker getting away with one. Yampy also went down. Chronicle trying.
The fight didn't go as good as it could have done. I'm gonna say another win for Astra. The fact that they lost this fight means that, like, I think Astra obviously would have helped. Just put a random star down and stun.
Seekers now deployed for Shados, and they should know both players in rotation.
She's the best on split and viable on all maps.
Entirely here from DOS9.
Best on split. Best on split, is that what I said? I don't know if that's true.
It would be a way to close it for Sayonara to win the 1-on-3, but Sugetsu gives him no space.
Oh,
Into the
that seems out of context. I meant, like, what I meant is, like, I was responding to someone asking Omen or Astra on split, and I said Astra is the best on split. As in, the better agent on split. I wasn't saying that it is her best map. Although it is one of her best maps, I think.
And then, what is it, another 8, 9?
I think Vitality have announced Unfake as their stand-in, yeah.
The consistency of being able to play from the back foot.
They're doing a lot of very simple calling. Fake. Go. It's a little bit concerning on a map like Bind, though. Like, they're doing, like, very small fake pressure into Go, which is... Like, I do...
Want to fight into Showers. It was
We'll see how this pans out, yeah.
Want to
I wonder on Corrode if they do the same.
Force KC to use utility.
Like, very scripted. Very scripted.
We'll forget that happened, Yampy, don't worry. He's going to be punished for it nearly, though. Just about escapes the pressure on B long.
Yeah, it's just pushing him back in regards to the space. But the thing is for KC is they're not necessarily able to gain much off the back of it. Sure, you've got Levin in towards Showers that's been able to gain some space. Gonna be spotted out again. A player forced into uncomfortable positions. And now with 50 seconds left.
General handle standards changeability. Sometimes it's a good thing, honestly. Obviously, it's that's not the narrative we could take, but like sometimes it can actually help a team to have a stand-up. But I think in general, obviously, it's annoying that you can't just run your stuff normally. Like a mid-season stand-in, almost like what Hero did mid-season for us, was like he created it felt a bit more fresh, and we had to like rethink things a little bit, you know. And there's less pressure. I think when you have a stand-in, there's a lot less pressure. And so you end up just like focusing more on like your fundamentals and just like being vibing. You know what I mean? Just vibing. Thoughts on Team Heretics? I think Heretics are in like a interesting position where it's like if they don't have a good year, or if their year is like last year, I feel like we've got to start being a bit more critical, right?
And unfortunately, he's in a world full of hurt. Has to stand his ground. It doesn't hit him actually, and it could be a huge misplay. No time left. I thought the ultimate was going to be the beginning.
almost concede this one.
The insta hooker push.
Hero rifle.
So yeah, so you see again, like the drones being used separately so that they can split the site. And because they have a lot of control, they will have a lot of control. They're going to opt to smoke deeper because they have multiple angles to come out of. Rather than do these shallow smokes. The problem is they've been fucked. Like, they've been fucked. I like, even here, the protocol here for these two players to just hide lamps and just play with each other. um, because these smokes, well, the first thing is, like, they need to buy time for these players, and there's not many safe spots on this site to play. And then the second thing is these smokes mean that they're much more likely to get contested deep, so...
They don't necessarily know that. But Vitality hot on their trails.
Benji's good, sure. I think that Benji, when I do my tier list, I think Benji's in a spot where, like, it's a bit frustrating for me, because, like, I don't want to be mean about Benji, because he's, like, the best person. But I think that I reasonably have to set hold him to higher standards. And I think that I was a little bit disappointed with his last year. I think the Sentinel role in EMEA is fucking stacked right now. And I think that Benji is surprisingly low on the list. Like, given his performance this year. Like, if he has another year like he did this year, I feel like there's a lot of players in EMEA that are, like, doing better, if that makes sense. I think he brings a lot of value that is not related to his game performance, but his game performance this year wasn't as good as what it should have been.
On the nose to be a brick by brick for the blue wall. Round by round, brick by brick. Because currently, benefit.
How did the flank not come through? I wasn't paying attention. It's the old Gambit setup. Doing the Gambit setup against KC. The Raze Brimstone Long. Durka could... Does the ult pull slow? The ult would have pulled slow there too, right? You feel like Benji's actually affected by the choking narrative. That's the only thing I think you're... Like, I think opposite. I think Benji's the only player on that team that is better at international events than he is domestically. I think he is better at international events. But it might be right, but, like, I think that, like, he is better globally than he is domestically. Which would imply that the opposite. I want to deep dive into Woot a little bit. I think that, like, I remember making the claim that I went through some of his stats and noticed there was a trend where he was dipping heavily in playoffs. And I wonder if that trend continues through global events too.
I mean, with 30 seconds left, Yampy's in the right place, on the right site. But can he do it all solo?
No. Elite was a bit all over the place this year. I wouldn't trust Elite joining a Heretics. Like, I wouldn't make that change. I think Elite should be on, like, a Turkish team. The problem with Woot saying he hates playing Duelist is that, like, if you're being a good teammate, it's the kind of thing you should be saying. In order to, like, shut down other people, like, it's a very, like, I don't know if it's true or not, but, like, him saying that was very good for Miniboot. You know what I mean? When you're doing interviews like that, the best responses are the ones that are going to help my team the most. And what his response there is the one that helps his team the most. So I respect it if, like, I respect the answer either way, but, like, I respect it a lot if he was just saying it because, you know what I mean?
The more time that they buy, the more time that they delay, the ultimate start getting denied, I think, into showers. Sturka plays a little bit more comfortable in his positioning. Spots denied, more in time, right?
Vitality to show up in numbers, and well, that's a big one. Levin just lets news for
delay that you have for Nara Trailblaze that's more comfortable.
Player. There's such little time here. Vitality might actually be able to do something. Nicely done. Sayonara in the
Sayo. I'm a bit worried about Sayo when I see some of these whiffs.
Sayonara in the side. Oh my word, Sayonara. How does he find nothing? None of them do. Second, limited time, but Prophet can't deny the spike from going. It's a Durka 1-on-3.
Like, he's a lot better than that.
Pulls out the shot.
Like, imagine being, like, the amount of pressure for Sayo being the person who was... Two teams, lots of teams wanted him before he was even 18 years old, and now he's, like, supposed to come help save the team, you know what I mean?
Gives it a go, but Shados's hat trick gives KC
He replaces... I don't know when he replaces Unfake.
Man, that was the best
I definitely not keep him because Vitality paid him money.
Sure, stuck in utility,
More
but
money.
The issue is Spale's no, these waves start
time out. Maybe I'll keep their thought around.
yes, adaptation. It is even as soon as they get the weapons out, it's been relatively dominant for this attacking side. Vitality need to enact a wall of their own in this defense.
Early March. When is that? Is that stage 1?
In 11, forward and then back
Oh,
out.
it's the... They did the nice KC combo, but they then didn't actually capitalize on it. But they did bait the... I don't know if that was purposeful, but baiting out the Razor there was very nice. Like, Durka absolutely should be outing that.
I mean, at least
And,
he's not away.
looks like a bit of an idiot, because KC just didn't even scale up
Smoke
at all.
down on towards long.
Maybe accidentally, hopefully on
Hits up
purpose.
towards short and
More in.
Mount. Flash goes.
It's Viper, it's hard to deal with, though, especially with a player inside.
Gonna hit anyone.
They're gonna go heavy showers, but then showers is a tiny little choke point.
And the spike is
They're just running away. This is mental. They can hear it. Look at that. Questions about the mid-rounding.
They know that they have to go B. It's going to be a triple stack in towards the B side. 17 seconds. Astral Divide still trying to delay here. Vitality through the TP goes Yampi. Durka and Yampi once more as Durka finds another. All on the hands of Goss.
Yeah, that looked messy at the end there. That's a good round. That's a good round to end on, because it gives me some questions about Shados IGNing. And it also gives me some questions about the experience in the team not supporting his IGNing. Like, in that situation, you'd expect, like, other players to also be helping out of it. Okay, right, I'm done. I'm gonna go eat some... I'm gonna go for dinner. I'll be back tomorrow for some streams, hopefully a bit earlier. I'll be here longer. Raid Durka. Is Durka streaming? It'd be a good raid if Durka is streaming. I was talking to him yesterday actually about some stuff, about some photography. Right, yeah, Durka streaming. Right, I'll see you guys in a bit. Go say hello to the worst duelist in the EMEA. Right, I'll catch you guys in a bit.